Alright. We should be live. Let me just make sure my sound and audio are working. Of course I get an ad immediately. That's kind of how it goes. Hello? 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 Yep, I can hear my voice. Hello, everyone. Let me get my stream back up so I can actually see the chat. There we go, I'm seeing the chat. Let's go, we're here! I know, like, alright, okay. Hello, everyone. Hi, Mr. Sadman. Hi, NoFile. Hi, Haro Solis. Hi, G Torres. Welcome to the stream. Snow is real? I thought it was a myth like Santa Claus. The thing is, NoFile, at first, you believe in Santa, and then you don't. And then in 30 years, you become Santa Claus. It's kind of one of those circle of life kind of things. So yeah. Yeah, Texas has snow. I know. I kind of live in around the same area. I wouldn't say I'm in Texas, but I'm kind of like in the same area. We never get snow where I'm at. We had snow last year. And if it wasn't for the rain immediately stopping, we would have snow again. It's kind of crazy. Hi, Literally Real. Hi, the random user. Welcome to the stream. God, I haven't played LL in so long. It's got so... Yeah, I'm actually with you on that, Exotic Bubblegum. Like, the thing is, I haven't made uploads in a while. I kind of ran out of ideas. I might have to make a video where I make a video... Maybe I can... Well, what should my next showcase be? The Santa Claus is the friends we made along the way. I live in a region where it's so cold, trees are exploding. Yeah, I heard about those posts, yeah. Am I going to turn into snow? No, we're not going to turn into snow. We're fine. We're not turning into snow in a long time. Hi, Bullet. Welcome to the stream. We got like 10 inches of snow. Oh, I don't think my trees are exploding. Yeah, we're having exploding trees in the year 2026. The water in the trees freeze and the pressure builds up. That is crazy. I usually love winter, but recently, all past my school, I go by foot. I've been frozen. Yeah, when I was in high school, I used to walk to school, actually. I used to walk to school. But again, I live in an area where snow doesn't exist. There's a lot more rain. I'd have to walk in the rain sometimes. But I never had to deal with snow and slipping on the ground. I still gotta get my last boost token. I believe this is the last day of the Jolly Village event. Llama Train Studios didn't make a tweet on it, but I think it is the last day. So this will be my last time ever hunting in the Jolly Village 2026. So let me get a couple peppermint just so I have some. I might do a couple maze runs after this. I need it to be summer so bad. I know, I want summer to be back. I'm so done with the days ending. I'm so done with the light fading at 4 p.m. And I'm one of the luckier ones when it comes to the light setting at 4 p.m. Other places in the world, it's setting at 2 p.m., 1 p.m. Some places in the world, the sun isn't even rising at all. Rising or setting at all. Wait. Eh? Did I not just do this? Okay, there we go. Did I just not do that? That is weird. Okay. Did I just forget to do my boost token? Okay. But hey, if it did glitch and I got an extra boost token, I would not be... Bro. I would not be too upset with that. Did I get an extra boost token from that? I think I did. I don't know. Either way. Yeah, it ends at 4 p.m. for me. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. The sun just goes out so quickly. I'm gonna be hunting for a little bit. I'm gonna... You have no drop frames yet, which is good. Alright, let's do this. We'll do it for 30 minutes, and then we'll do another 30 minutes, and then I'll save the... I'll do a 15 minutes, and then I'll save 2 boost tokens. That'll be what I do. Reason why I want to save 2 boost tokens is I might do another round of Terradescence. Summer is only good because there's no school. After you get a job and become older, it doesn't feel the same. I know, summer doesn't feel the same once you're older. But and around here, summer, it feels like 110 degrees outside around here where I'm at. But I still like the summer more than the winter because I don't like slipping on the frickin' ice. I don't have the best balancing, and I don't want to slip on the ice and fall on my butt. Graduated 3 years ago. I like summer now. Oh, that's nice. Beep boop. Hi, ShareBot. PvP, welcome to the stream. I'm probably not going to hunt for the last day. I've gotten everything I wanted, so I'm going to continue hunting for Gamma Malmark. Nice. I'm still looking for some rare stuff, but I'm not... I feel alright with what I found. I got the Gamma Terradescent. And I got a couple Alpha Roams. I got an Alpha Mimas. I got an Alpha Reskin Solnecta. I got the Alpha Reskin Gremuline. I even got an Alpha Icicle. I got none of the Gammas, but I got all the Alphas. I didn't get Grinch, but I wasn't expecting to get Grinch Dragoon, so I'm not upset with that. So, I feel like I'm fine. The amount of times I almost slipped on ice trying to walk out of my car is embarrassing. No, it's not. It's a legit problem people deal with. Ice is no joke. Ice is no joke. I can't check the Lumion Legacy PvP channel without people complaining about the next season not being out yet. I know, like, it's a very questionable decision for them to not just release a mini-season. Like, again, I understand why they're not doing it, but it's making PvP feel so stale right now. Like, the thing is, something that I'm realizing about this long time of not having rank for, like, the last 2 months, it's making me realize that just having extra stuff to do in PvP, like a weekly global ladder challenge or tier ship changes, could actually go a long way on actually helping the game. Even if you have 2 months of not having rank, you could actually at least have, you know, extra stuff to do in the game. I really want to make a video talking about that. I really want to make a video talking about that at some point. I just haven't had the time. I make one big video every week, and I've been having a lot of stuff in real life. Like, I've been fixing my car, I've been trying to meet up with someone. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's been happening, so I haven't had the time to make the script for that big video yet. I am planning about starting it soon, though, so I really want to get this video out. Got a juicy Gamma Gleam Ikazune this event? Nice! That's actually one of the few reskins I don't have. I don't have the reskin Alpha Ikazune or Gamma. I don't have that. Why does the snow and ice? Oh, ice makes you slip. I don't have too much problem with snow, though. But ice? Ice is bad. Even though ice and snow are kind of the same thing. Although snow is kind of more puffier. Ice is more hard and slippery. My goal was a Gamma Crab Boss for the Soul Burst, and I got the Route Rare version, so everything else is just icing on the cake. Nice! Do you think we will get any news on Route 9 once the event ends? I don't think so. I don't feel too confident that we'll get news for Route 9 when the event ends. The earliest we're going to get news for Route 9, I feel like, is going to be on Friday. I know what the Lumion Legacy developers do in these situations. I hope we get something when the event ends. And honestly, if Llama Train Studios, if y'all are watching this, please give us a little sneak peek on Route 9. Please. Please, please, please. Thing is, I'm coping because I don't think it's gonna happen. They're just gonna tweet, I hope y'all had a good event, just tweet us our best finds of your event or something. That's what I think is gonna happen. I hope I'm wrong, but that's probably what they're gonna tweet. Could you do more like an in-depth overview on the tier list, like the top 10 Limians from the God/Amazing? It was an idea that came up in my mind that I personally like. That's not a bad idea, talking about why I put Limians in certain tiers. Like, the thing is, I try to talk about them during the tier list, but the problem is the video is 2 hours long, or at least an hour 53 minutes long. So it's hard to go in depth with every Limian. But yeah, talking about the individual top 10 spots could be good. We should get a PvE mode. Oh yeah, PvE would be fun. Haven't PvP'd in ages, never to me. There's pretty much no meta since data isn't being tracked. Like, no one's playing, but if usage stats were being tracked somewhere, if it's the servers themselves, if it's a PvP server doing it, like if meta was actually tracked, we could at least develop some kind of tier. We could at least somewhat develop a usage tier list. That is fair, Exotic. It's only still because people who obsess over rank act like dream teams and competitive queue doesn't, then says it's full of noobs. Like, the thing is, like, that is true. People need to know that dream teams freaking exist. Like, legit, on so many servers, when Roblox chat used to be a thing, I used to be like, anyone with a battle, I'm in Dream Teams. And legit, half the people in the lobby would be like, what's Dream Teams? What's Dream Teams queue? Dream Teams queue is in the menu. It's on the top right of the menu. It's right there. Even making a video teaching people how Dream Teams feature works still hasn't made people realize that the Dream Teams feature is right there. Apparently yesterday, 26 people on my team called off work, and only one person showed up. Ouch. That's brutal. One person out of 26. Ouch. Hi, Soul Celestine. Welcome to the stream. Jamie better be watching this then, because what Extra Bunts actually goes so hard on how true the stuff we said. Yeah, we need. Honestly, I do want to talk with Jamie at some point. I wouldn't talk about something like that. I would talk about something like... I would just ask questions on how he would balance stuff, or what is his favorite Lumion to balance, or what his favorite Lumion in the game is. Like, I would tell him questions like that. And I would also tell him what I think my favorite Lumion is, and what my least favorite Lumion is, and why I don't like them. Because I feel like a conversation between me and Jamie would be very interesting. Like, I wouldn't record it. It would just be me and him. It would just be me and him. And I wouldn't tell anyone what happened in a conversation like that. I'd probably only say that a conversation happened and that's it. People only play Dream Teams when Joshua is in the lobby. I know! People only play Dream Teams when I'm right there in the lobby. I stopped believing anything once I heard Festifer's top tier and Hibber is the best guy. Everyone's been using... Honestly! Everyone's been using Himber. And I don't know why. I always struggle versus Himber. It's because of Himber's natural bulk. It isn't because of Himber having a good defensive typing. I mean, its defensive typing isn't bad. It's because of its good natural bulk. It's solid damage with its good offensive stab. But it's not the best starter. I mean, it's better than Vesperatu, maybe. Is it better than Vesperatu with gloves? I don't know. Alright, here's Pity. I mean, I already have 3 of these. I'm building a PvP flex team for the next PvP season. Let's see how are you? Okay, you're territorial. Nah. Yeah, I'm trying to catch you up. I am bugging, or is the stream like laggy? Nope, stream not lagging for me. I have 0 drop frames at the moment. Thing is, Vesperatu probably has the least usage. But their specialty gloves Awakening Vesperatu that hits really hard, and it's actually anti-meta right now. People are not ready for Vesperatu. Because the thing is, right now, a lot of people are making their teams weak to dark. Because the thing is, especially my teams, a lot of my teams are very weak to dark. The reason why people are doing that is because a lot of the huge offensive dark-type threats are either Soulburst Imperior or Soulburst Dragodine. Or Soulburst Metronet. So, usually there's only 1 or 2 offensive dark types on every team, and once you deal with the dark type, the dark type is dead. You can overload the dark type. With Vesperatu, Vesperatu doesn't take your Soul Burst spots. So you could stack Vesperatu with like another dark type and do the overload strategy with two offensive dark types. And then you could just wreck teams. There's Cramboss, but the thing is with Cramboss is people use Soul Burst Cramboss for utility. They don't use it that much on offense. There's Battle Chime Cramboss, but that one is very hard to set up. You need a turn to set up a Battle Chime. Unless you're using something like Gloves or Boots. I hate it when Vesperatu Sharp Claws was changed. It literally just hunted for the GSA version. And I got it the moment it was nerfed. Ouch. Yeah, people use... Oh, yeah, that is true. The main dark type right now is Lachent. But Lachent isn't usually ran offensively. It sometimes is, but it isn't usually ran offensively. So, if Lachent is your PvP dark type, you can't fit another dark type on your team. The reason why I use other dark types like Umbrat, Soul Burst Dragodyne, and Soul Burst Imperior is because I never use Lachent. I actually almost never use Lachent for my teams. So I don't have that problem of having two dark types defensively. Considering making PvP videos again, I remember theme team videos being super fun, but making them viable teams is difficult. Yeah, making actual viable teams right now is very difficult. Hi Joshoma, welcome to the stream. Nothing can one-shot it on the range side without a crit. Why did you rank Terraclaw kinda low? It's honestly broken as it gets unwallable coverage with Paravital, Double Beat, and Bulk Up. Makes it super bulky. Honestly, I think good. I honestly think Terraclaw can be great tier, but it never gets usage because its role is very niche. The thing is, if Terraclaw does get a Bulk Up off, it can be almost unkillable. The problem is that the same things that beat Luminami and Lachent, Hazards, Driving Force, Stopping Momentum, pretty much can shred through Terraclaw if you're not careful. Because Terraclaw is weak to Hazards. So there is some... If you want to beat Terraclaw... But the thing is, if you are trying to brute force a Terraclaw, it is extremely difficult to brute force it. You can't really brute force Terraclaw that easily. You have to beat it with other strategies, because if not, it's going to set up a bulk up and be very hard to defeat. Rachel Plushie Terraclaw might lower its recovery, but it lets it 1v1 a Goggles Wintrix. I mean, that could be a nice little surprise set for Surprise Factor. The problem with Rachel Plushie is that if you're not clicking a recover, you have to be into the game at full HP if you want to activate your Rachel Plushie for Terraclaw. And Terraclaw is pretty slow, so you can't just switch it into a super effective hit, because even the bulkiest tanks have their limits. There's only so many super effective hits they can switch into. The good thing is that Parasitize and Vital Jab are very good moves once you do get your Rageful Plushie off, but it is difficult on making that set work consistently. The stream's delayed as heck. Anyone else got the same problem? Wait, is my stream delayed? I don't have any drop frames. Well then. Well, here we are already, the last day. Yep. Well, people don't know what's the actual meta like right now. They're just throwing random stuff together and hope it works. Where I was thinking, who is Joshua talking to? And I found out that my chat froze. Oh, your chat froze. Oh, that sucks. It's kind of delayed for me. Terraclaw with a Cleric is basically immortal. Yeah, basically, yeah. People use super effective hits to break the wall, so you bulk up on the switch against their Luminami. Yeah, like, the thing is that, yeah. It is easier to actually get setups with Terraclaw right now, because people use the Luminami to defensively check Terraclaw, and then you just set up bulk up twice. You set bulk up twice on the switch, and then you just spam healing moves. And then your Terraclaw is literally unbeatable, unless they have a Lumion with Driving Force. I thought it was the 27th. Nope, it's the 26th, I think the event ends. It's delayed for like 30 seconds for me. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know how to fix that. Y'all were sending more messages than Joshua could possibly read. I'm trying! It's hard to keep up. Hi, Hannah. Welcome to the stream. I think Lumi Shant might be the meta for a good while. The thing is, Lumi Shant is the meta, but it isn't the best team structure. It's a consistent team structure. But there are weaknesses, like toxic types can break through it, hazards can break through it. Lumi Shant can handle a lot of the meta, but you need to build a team around those two to deal with the rest of the Lumians. Yeah, Mewtwo dies to Vital Jab. Do you think a dual weather PvP team is possible? Oh, definitely. Dual weathers is definitely doable. It's just a lot harder to build a team around that. It's just a lot harder to build that kind of team. But it is doable. Sumo Beetle is better than Terraclaw most of the time. That is true. That is true. If you're using Terraclaw, it's the opportunity cost of not using Sumo Beetle. Restrictive Shield gets the job done, and it's very annoying to offensively deal with. Sumo on Hazard Stack is actually a war criminal. That is true. I actually don't use Restrictive Shield on mine. I actually use Health Amulet on my Sumo Beetle. And then I use Bulk Up to set up on Luminami. Use the fact that Luminami has a lack of damage output. And then use the priority moves and Double Beat of Sumo Beetle to do a lot of damage. And then instead of running Parasitize, I run Counterpoise, either Counter Stance or Quick Punch, depending on what my comfort level is, and then Double Beat. And then my last move is Bulk Up. And then I set up on Luminami, and then I have very powerful priority moves boosted by Guru. It works really well, because Luminami, a Lumion that does usually wall Sumo Beetle, doesn't do much to it back. So having a free setup on something is huge. Did he find anything? Not yet. I haven't found anything yet today, but there's a good chance I'll find some. I found out how to export Terraria characters to T-Mod loaders, so I could have Soul Fuller Armor in the Zenith and Calamity. Then there's Crackalola. Yeah, Crackalola, especially Soulburst Crackalola, can deal a lot of the toxic types. Normal, not as much, because it's neutral until it's Soulburst. What's your favorite Lumion right now for meta? Honestly, Venusaur might be the best meta Lumion right now, because it's a Lumion that can deal with Lumi Shant Crack. There's also Stratosaur, who can wall Venusaur, and also do pretty well versus Lumi Shant as well. Because even though Luminami has Thunder Chomp to hit Stratosaur, Stratosaur can just perch the HP back, and since Stratosaur is faster than Luminami, you're only normally weak to Thunder Chomp when you're clicking perch. Meaning you could set up on Luminami switching in, set up again, live the Thunder Chomp, and then perch the damage off. Then there's also Valkyrie, when Valkyrie can deal with any team that doesn't have Marafe on it. Or a light or a bulky... Yeah, Valkyrie can pretty much deal with any team that doesn't have a Malamurk or Marafe on it. I thought of giving Whippledrift the Fluffy ability, which gives it a Fire Quad weakness, but makes it take half from contact moves. It gets 4 shot. No, let's not give Whippledrift Fluffy. Whippledrifts are... People underestimate Whippledrift. That thing is dangerous on Strong Gust. Even without Strong Gust, it already has the very powerful Glide ability. That thing is honestly very dangerous. Mewtwo does really well into Terraclaw because of Hullabaloo. Oh, that is true! Yeah, Hullabaloo! I completely forgot about that, honestly. Honestly, I completely forgot about Hullabaloo. Because, yeah, Terraclaws no longer run Rough Up. They run Hullabaloo now. They run Vital Jab now. That is actually really true. That is true, and Mewtwo outspeeds Terraclaw. So, yeah, Hullabaloo Mewtwo would beat it if you don't have Rough Up, which Terraclaws never run Rough Up anymore. I want a Body Slam. This will probably just KO it straight up, but let's see. Nope, it didn't. Holy Bunch may restore Lumi Shant, but Holy Bunch is destroyed by Gnarly Gash. Oh, I gotta watch out. What did it click? Snaggle did well into things people were using, basically a Venoline with a good Borak matchup. Yeah, that is true. Hey! I hate you, Icy Gull. I hate you. Why did you do that to me? It's red, that's why I'm catching it. I like catching... It's only my second red one. He showcased Parasol once, he hated it. Yeah, Parasol's not that good right now. Like, the thing is, it does have Gust. Maybe if I use the Gust variant, it would do better. The problem is that... it's so hard to get the Gust off. Even with your bulk, you get the Gust off once, and then you're in a bad matchup, and then you click Fade Away, and you take more do or die damage. Like, Parasol is so close to being good. It doesn't even have Gnarly Gash, it has Mega Chomp. Does Conclusion bypass for Tremoso or Reverberate? I don't know, I have to check. I don't need an Orange Icicle. It would be cool, but I don't need it. Got the Ace when using it last season. Honestly, Guru Ganderville would be cool, honest. That would be cool. Guru Ganderville would be cool. Because it has the powerful double beat. It would actually make it very good offensively. It would actually give Ganderville a niche offensively. It would make Ganderville kind of like, if Ganderville had Guru instead of Sumo Beetle, or instead of Burglar, it can kind of be like this jack-of-all-trades kind of Lumion, where you kind of don't know where it is. As of right now, you pretty much know it's a hazard setting lead by default right now. So having something like Guru to make Double Beat do a lot more damage could be really huge for it. That would actually be a nice buff for it, because it would buff its stab move. And it would buff its quick pounce too, because it has quick pounce. It does have quick pounce as a priority move. So you don't even have to run something like Gloves. You could run something like Power Cuffs and then have a priority move open. Coverage and then a priority move. Guru boosted. No, I think they nerfed Ill Will, so I don't think the 140 base power Ill Will thing happens anymore. How did Nietzsche sponging Cephalops hits back then? It was lethal and pivot. It was legal and pivoting. He gained electric cover to actually hit it, but then Cephalops got parasitized, so it's that one thing it has gone. Oh yeah, Parasol. Yeah, Parasol. Yeah, because the thing is, Cephalops' defensive typing, the best way to counter Cephalops was Cephalops until it got parasitized. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I know Goderville already has an offensive set, but the thing is, it's more niche. The more common Goderville set right now is the hazard setting set. But Guru over Burglar would make the offensive sets a lot more viable. It would make it a lot better. Oh yeah, it has Redemptive Strike too. Even though Redemptive Strike wouldn't really do that much, even with a Guru boost. Yeah, it would. It is funny. It's not to say that offensive Ganderville can't do anything. Oh yeah, and that would give Ganderville a 97 base power slapdown. Oh my god, yeah, you're right. Yes! Honestly, I would be perfectly down with that. That would actually make offensive Ganderville pretty solid. Like, it wouldn't make it broken because Ganderville doesn't have the highest attack stat or the fastest speed stat. And if you're running it offensively, it does lose a lot of bulk. But it could actually, I could actually see that. That would actually make offensive Ganderville pretty solid without it being too strong. No, it would just replace Burglar with... Because Burglar isn't that good right now. So we would just replace Burglar with Guru. And that would fix the problem. How's even overall? I think it's like a 6 or 7 out of 10. It's a repeat event. Not really much added other than Soulburst Crown Boss. The maze is fun, like always. But, you know, it's the same event for the 3rd time. I feel like it's a great... In Farrell's Discord, he was using Parasol, and it soaked up so many hits. That is true. Yeah, Parasol does have solid bulk. And it does have slow pivot. If there is a way I could make that... The problem is last time I used Parasol, I used it offensively. I tried to use this as this offensive threat that dealt damage, but it never dealt enough damage because it didn't have a good dark stab. Yeah, very brawny boots with Baffle and Guru. Yeah, that... Cardia's gone. The sad part is someone else already uses that Ganderville set. Just without the Guru parts. I wasn't even trying to... Okay, I'm sorry. I was not trying to make that meme up. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to... I still don't understand what the 6-7 meme even means. That was not intentional, I promise. Frost Shackled was a godsend for offensive teams. Sorry, my Miracle Beam can't cure Brain Rot yet. I need more training. I'm trying to rally a Wintrix and this event is going to end. I have a lot. I did my Wintrixes. I also rallied for Tundralins already. I got Tundralins. I got my Robust Nimble set, and I went very robust. I got both Mysterious Cloak and Insulated. I'm both Robust Nimble and very robust. For all I was using Hydro Vortex Para. I built a V-Robust Parasol for Bulky Pivot, and but I never tested it. Brawny Clever. Yeah, Water Dark. It basically is Water Dark Borg. It doesn't... The problem with Paras... It does have Pivot. It does have Pivot. But, I could not make it work. I don't know why. I couldn't make it work. As a Florent Lever, I don't like how much people use Ice types during this event. Yeah, Ice types are kind of common right now, especially with the events. I have an amazing Wintrix. Tamp Ventation. Oh god, let's not give Tamp the Ventation, please. Let's not do that. Yes! Godervale! Hi Night Havocs, welcome to the stream. Jeez, I'm so slow, I can't catch up. I gotta catch up. Crystal is legit opposite of Land Torch. Yeah, it basically is. 6-7 is stupid? Yeah, I'm with you on that. Does it mean anything? You just say it pretty much? Wow. What happened to memes? These Brain Rot has killed memes. Guys, Goderville is my Curation Grr. Yeah, No File. I saw No File use very brawny boots. It was cooking. 6-7 is no beating, just makes us flinch. Like that one Mr. Krabs joke on SpongeBob where he says numbers weird. It's the same joke over and over and it's not funny. I honestly hate my class. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope your class gets better soon. Hoping we get more info on Route 9 today. I hope so too. I don't feel that confident that we will get it, but you never know. Josh, what are the Lumions that counter Lachette? Basically, hazards and toxic types are the best way to do it. Thing is, fire and bug types don't counter Lachette that easily because good teams are built to handle those quad weaknesses. Although, if they do stay in, you could use those quad effective hits. Water types in general suck. On Friday, some dude said, and practically everyone screamed it. Wow. Jeez, what happened? Yeah, I don't know. Water types, I think, are really good, and I feel like if Luminami got nerfed and a lot more of the bulky water pivots are used, I feel like a lot of people will realize how good a lot of the other water types are. And all the bulky water types do have their specific niche. I mean, Samarine has the Terrifying ability. You have Cleone with Repugnant and Dissipate. You have Lumello as a bulky hazard setting lead. You have Fishkarna as a hazard removal and a way to prevent hazards from going up. Sarkame is just Luminami, but with Seasong and hits a little harder. Like, you legit, like, there's actually some good bulky water types out there that I feel like nerfing Luminami will help the usage rate for all the other water types. Without really killing Luminami's usage rate that much. Oh, I agree. Tamp Ventation would be banned with Protective Shell. Did you know that Florian has Magnify? Oh yeah, it does. I know that. I've used that set before, actually. But Brantis can check him if Lachette, if you're not dealing with a Gloomy one. Not wall, but check. Joshua, you saw my Goderville Oko Glacier. I saw that. I saw that live on stream. If Flash and Fleet Shyanta work, Shyanta has 73 range attack. It isn't so bad. Thing is, you could just use that as your last... If you have a 4th move slot open for Shyanta, you could just have Flash and Flea and pivot out of a bad matchup. And then you can have Brawn Boost and then 2 other moves of choice. Like, that could actually work. But I think Geklo is... Oh, no. Honestly, let's give Geklo the same... Let's give Geklo 2 more speed so it outspeeds Borak. That is something I want. Let's give Geklo 2 more speed so it outspeeds Borak. Let's have that. Icicle... Yeah, hazards... Not just icicle traps, but hazards in general shred Lachette. The way I beat Lumishent teams is hazards. Hoping we get ranked back soon. I want to get back into PvP again. I don't understand Lachette. Whenever I use it, it feels so mid. I kind of feel the same way, honestly. I always struggle at using Lachette, too. I agree. I think Lachette does need to lose Earthquake. I'd rather it keep Icicle Traps and lose Earthquake. That's what I think. I'd rather it keep Icicle Trap, but lose Earthquake. So Kame, Parasol, Cleone, Samarine, Cleone, Delusa are all overshadowed. Yeah, they're all overshadowed by Luminami. So if Luminami got nerfed, which it will, I think it will help the usage rates for those Lumines. Especially Samarine and Cleone. Even Fishkarna, too. Fishkarna's right there, too. The Shyenta, Dokomore. I use Robust v Clumsy Nimble Lachette. It's a decent... Is that a decent set? It depends on what you want it to do. If you want it to be a tank, there's kind of not that much reasons to run Nimble. Unless you want to outspeed a critical threat that you wouldn't outspeed earlier. Would he say that damage Gargolem speed is better than Gargolem attack? No, Gargolem attack's better than Gargolem speed when it comes to dealing damage. Gargolem attack has the Berserk and Master ability, which are both very solid sets. Especially the Berserk set being just broken. Gargolem speed's damage output is very low, even with a Raidful Plushie boost. You're using Gargolem speed either for late game sweeping potential or as a hazard lead. Yeah, Speeder showcased. Yeah, I think Speeder showcased it recently. Actually, got one if you don't want to waste time rallying. Have you guys found a workaround for the chat update yet? No, I just play without the chat update. What's a Lumion you think should be banned next season, or should just be in general that isn't? Cephalops will be unbanned, which is going to be interesting. I don't know what people feel about... I don't know how people feel about Cephalops being unbanned. Honestly, I don't think Cephalops is ban-worthy, but I think it's going to be very strong. Just because I don't think Cephalops is ban-worthy anymore, I do feel like it's going to be very strong and very meta-relevant. That's what I think. Give Geklo 200 all of its stats? Yes, I'm all in with that. Geklo is F tier? Bruh. Geklo's better than Sherbot, come on. I mean, remember when we had that matchup of Geklos versus Sherbots? Geklo's won. Geklo soloed those Sherbots. Luminami. I was trying to make a Heatwave team, and it was so much harder to construct one compared to the... Yeah, it's so hard to construct Heatwave. If you're running Heatwave, you're running half Heatwave. You're not running a full Heatwave team because Chartiki sucks. And then there's no other Heatwave abusers besides Heatwave and Phoenix. Unless you're using Climate Cannon and another Lumion, which, in that case, you could use something like Ferroglyph and Climate Cannon. That is something you could use. I wish Wintrix had Climate Cannon. If Wintrix had Climate Cannon, it'd be so good under Heatwave. Cephalops top OU? Yeah. Alright. Here we go. Let's do that. Here comes Pity. Really? Another one of these? These were the two I got? Well then. From the servers I'm in, it's a humanist that unbanning it is a stupid idea. I feel like it's really going to heavily depend. I feel like the thing is, it's heavily going to depend on what set people use on Cephalops. Cephalops isn't even that threatening for a ban. Yes, it's good, but I don't think it deserves a ban. It really depends. Sherbots are cuter than Reptiles? Nope. Nope, Geklo's the best. Goggle Soul Drain is going to continue to exist, but Terraclaw... Yeah, Terraclaw exists, but... You could also place Icicle Traps on a Terraclaw switching in. And then if you switch it out, you can do some work. We all became guests with this chat update. Might as well change our outfits too. Base Gargolem Sly is good at taking down Lumions that rely on armors and shields. Yeah, that's true. That's decent. Yikes, twice in a row. It literally got better than last time. It was allowed. I don't know if it got better, because the thing is, if you are using specialty goggles, it does have a little bit of anti-synergy with Parasitize, but Parasitize is mainly just there to hit Lachette. Which hitting Lachette is a huge deal. But if it is specialty goggles, then it is trapped into Parasitize, and you can't outplay that. So I feel like the best set's not going to be goggles. I feel like the best set's going to be something like Cuffs or Shell. It's either going to be a Shell or Essence or Power Cuffs. I feel like goggles is just going to be a set. A set for another set, I feel like. If y'all know what I mean. I feel like goggles is just going to be one of its many sets. I feel like it's not going to be its best sets. Because of being trapped into a move, I feel like it's going to be game killing without the ability to Frost Beam. If it's to string Jamie, we'll just ban it again. Yeah, that's fair. For offensive things, it's Sumo Beetle and Prey. Josh, what's your second favorite Lumion? Second favorite Lumion? I gotta think about that a little bit. There's some cool ones. Zulong is cool. There's also... I also really like... I like Zulong. Zulong's cool. I like Infernix. I don't know why I really like Infernix. I really like using Infernix just because of how flexible it is. It always feels like it could fit it on a team somehow. And I always have different roles for it. I don't know why. I really like Infernix. Spike Rush can easily OHKO Whipple. Yeah? I think it can live one. I think Whipple Drift can live one Spike Rush depending on the attacker. Just because it actually has good melee bulk. Funfap Ghost Wing can actually use the Fear strat decently. Clutch Plushie, Empathize, Quick Pounce. That is true. That could be a fun little showcase video to try. Cuffs 3 attacks. Last move either traps or hypnotize to put Sumo Beetle in a really bad spot. Yeah. In the past, my last move used to be Wave Wrecker to deal with Peace of Mind Pyrolid. But yeah, I feel like Icicle Traps and Hypnotize are the best moves for it. Yeah, it does have a high energy stat, so it can work with Cuffs. It can work with Cuffs, which is good for it. I gotta be careful, these guys' HPs are low. Yeah, the update ends in like 6 hours. Quick question, but what getting Grom boost in the next season? I don't know. Rageful is going to be fairly popular. Yeah, I can see Rageful Plushie gets in play too. The problem with Rageful Plushie is that you lose a lot of immediate power. And that's kind of a thing with Cephalops, is a lot of that immediate power. Not saying that it can't be powerful without that immediate power. But I feel like having more immediate power is huge. Because the more damage Cephalops does, the more HP it gains back. So if you're losing a lot of that instant power, it's kind of brutal. Because Cephalops is relatively slow. But wasn't Cramboss getting Braum Boost? Okay, I already read that. I don't know why Jamie never reworked some of the banned Lumions. Sorelli, he's not going to He wants Appetite to be in the game, but he doesn't want Appetite to be in ranked. Appetite's just an uncompetitive ability, and that doesn't even mention... I feel like Appetite Sorelli is more broken than people give it out to be. I don't think it's just banned because Appetite being broken. It's banned because of Appetite being broken and its very fast speed and provoking other Lumions. Because even the only way to effectively beat Sorelli is Ignorant. If you're not using an Ignorant Lumion, you'll lose to Sorelli. Reason why I say that is because people tend to forget that Sorelli has the funny move called Provoke. It can click Dodge, it can click Perch, it can click Provoke, and then it uses an attacking move. Whatever attacking move it wants. And it wins on the spot. I feel like that's something that a lot of people... don't take into consideration. It's not just broken because of what Appetite is. It's also broken because of how good Appetite is with Provoke. They synergize perfectly with each other. Oh yeah, it also has Hypnotize as well. That's true. Cephalops crying after having to switch out after... That's the thing. Rageful Plushie Cephalops gets 1 KO. It gets its HP back to around halfway, and then it's forced to switch out. I don't think Rachel plushie is that good. Could we fight dream teams when your boosts run out? I'll think about it. I'm thinking about, I want to do some other stuff as well. I have some other stuff I want to make after I stream. I need to make a video. That's the big thing. I need to make a video. Yep, 6 hours away till the event ends. Give all of its forms new abilities tied to them to make Appetite's SA for all of them. That is a cool idea. I won't lie, it is a cool idea. That is actually a good point, sure, about PvP. Giving Sorelli a secondary ability could make it so we only ban Appetite and not Sorelli. It ramps faster than Moody. I know it does, because you don't actually get a negative stat boost. I did watch the Terraria 1.4.5 trailer. It was cool. I liked it. Why do people call it 1.5.5? Interesting. I thought it was 1.4.5, unless they changed it. Hi, Bubblegum Man. Welcome to the stream. Hey, free shard. Why not hard candy Sorelli? No. I mean, it does make sense thematically. I think it'd be too strong on Sorelli though. I don't know, but it has a low melee defense stat to be fair. Yeah, the event ends today. Hard candy, but hard candy only makes sense on a couple of the Sorellis, not on all of them. Yeah, Appetite's literally Moody, but more safe. I assume Terraria is going to get the AI verification soon. Oh, I hope Terraria doesn't get that either. I don't think it will, because Terraria isn't really that much online. It's more single player, but still. I really need to play Terraria. Opinion on Helvantic? Helvantic is really good. Really good coverage. It's pretty much anything. A lot of different sets you can use. You can use gloves. You can use boots. You can pretty much use whatever set you want on Helvantic. The only reason why it isn't getting as much usage is because Venusaur is very powerful right now. But Helvantic does have extra coverage options and extra flexible options too. Not to mention, I think its defensive typing is better. But Venusaur has better bulk and speed. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry, just drinking some coffee. Why did the Online Safety Act get created? It's got created so the government can steal your personal information. That's why it was created. And they're using the excuse of protecting the kids as an excuse to steal your personal information. This Online Safety Act has nothing to do with protecting the kids. What? Don't use the internet the casual way. Defensive Helvantic is really low-key cool. Yeah, I used Defensive Helvantic before. I really want to use it again. That might be my next showcase. I need to find a good team to use Stallvantic with, though. I know it's meant to make it safer for children, but the internet... It's not free... I agree, it's not free daycare. Like, the better way... The better option is to make people more aware that the internet is dangerous. That would actually be a better way to make kids know. Just tell kids that the internet is dangerous and don't give away your personal information. Like, that's the better way. Sorry about the sneeze, guys. Caffeine, yes. Yep, that's how I stay up. Which Lumians do you think would be good with Pivot? Now the first question is I gotta think about some Lumians that don't have Pivot, and then I gotta think about which of those Lumians that don't have Pivot that would be great with it. Vesperatu would be amazing with a Pivot move. If Vesperatu had Fadeaway, it would be the most overpowered thing on the planet. If Vesperatu got Fadeaway, Teclipse would rise and use it. Teclipse would be the #1 Lumion. If Vesperatu got Fadeaway, Teclipse would be the #1 Lumion in usage. Yeah, it's easier to... I got that as well. I heard because of Kappa Law, Roblox has until April to delete the new update. Hey, come on, Kappa. Yeah! Let's go! The laws! I always didn't do internet safely. The internet was never safe for children to begin with. That is true. At what point do we blame the very bad parenting? Exactly. I understand that parents can't be on their children 24/7, but they already have but parents can already give their children restrictions on the internet, don't they? Like, I thought there was a parental feature. Or am I wrong? Is that just certain sites that have parental features? Not to mention that good parenting goes a long way. Just telling their children how dangerous the internet is can go a long way. That won't stop every child on speaking personal information on the internet. It'll stop a lot of them. I know that is legit parenting nowadays. I 100% agree, Corey. That is legit what parenting is nowadays. The iPads are doing most of the parenting. Verizon Home has the ability to restrict searching and block games. It's not just Verizon Home. I think there's others. I think a lot of sites have their own restrictions already. Parental restrictions. To be honest, a better way to add an online safety hack is to give certain websites a tag called Safe for Children, which are available for children while other ones are not, and the option to turn on and off. That is true. The problem with that, it needs to be executed really well, because there's a lot of YouTube channels and a lot of just for kids stuff on the content which are not for kids. So it needs to be, if something like that were to happen, it would need to be executed really well. I don't disagree with the idea. I think that is the right way to fix it. It just needs to be managed correctly. I know, but it's a what if. Give a flip turn from Lumion, that would make more sense. Seesung Malmark, honestly, it would make Malmark too strong. Honestly, can I tell you a Lumion that would actually be very solid with Seesong? Hydro. Wow, that's my second Alpha My Mask. That's my second one. Watch this be a secret. I hope this. Oh, please be a secret ability. I could dream, can I? I could dream, right? An Alpha secret ability My Mask? That could actually be kind of huge, right? Right, that's a dark type move, I can't tell. Alpha secret ability? Is this one of those? Stop clicking dark type moves! Stop clicking dark type moves! Please. Please. Boo! Boo! Alright. Let's see how many of these My Masks it will take to actually catch this. Remember, this is especially good at catching My Mask. Just a reminder. Okay, it actually worked first try. That's a miracle. Stream lagging? No, my stream ain't lagging. They canceled egg hunts, removed guests, removed ticks, and now... Guys. Secret ability back-to-back with Alpha? Please? Please? God damn it! Oh, darn it! Oh, darn it! That would have been insane, wouldn't it? You get the Alpha one, and then you get the secret ability one back to back? That would have been insane. What would have been the odds for that? I don't know. Maybe I could trade one of my Alpha My Mask away. I trade one of them away and get an SA one. I trade my Alpha My Mask and then I trade something else to get it. Oh, you probably can't replicate for Sod. That would make sense, actually. Yeah, the Mimas... Okay, back to what I was saying before the rare Mimas shows up. Back to what I was saying. I feel like Hydralin would actually be a very good user of Seasong. It actually has a decent range attack stat. Not good, but decent. And it would have the ability to be a hit and runner. It would be a water pivot Lumion that is not a bulky water and more of a bulky hit and runner. It would be more of a hit and runner. There is actually another Variolution that uses that hit and run strategy very well. Wyndolin. Wyndolin is fade away, it clicks fade away, it spams fade away. Does all that hit and run damage. But I feel like Hydro Fraud with the hit and run Seasong would be very strong. Because the only Lumions that can be immune to Seasong are those Lumions with either Hydrate or Sponge as their abilities. Which there aren't that many. And even though you cannot hit those Sponge Lumions with Hydralin, you would still be forced to run a Sponge or Hydrate Lumion to block Hydro Fraud Seasong. And if you run something like very nimble, specialty goggles, Seasong boosted Hydralin, I feel like it would actually be a decent hit and runner. What do y'all think? I get he's locked behind the scope lens, but imagine if it had Seasong. Seasong on Hydralin would definitely... I don't know how good it would make it, but it would get it out of the trash tier. It'd at least be usable. Okay, I am lagging a little bit now. Okay, no, we're fine. Yeah, Hydrate Godervale will cook that. Like, it would actually at least make Hydralin usable. It would be... And then if you give it a ranged attacking grass move. And then if you gave it a ranged attacking grass move too, it would actually be solid. If you gave it something like Life Drain or Nature's Force, it would actually be solid. It would actually be solid as this hit and run Seasong spammer. You could use it in rain too. Like you can use it like Hydroblast or Wind Rain is up. Air Blade, Seasong, and then a fourth move of choice. Whatever you want is your fourth move. I don't know. I think a water deer can sing. I think Hydralin could sing. I think a water deer can sing. I mean, there are other Varis that have Disconnect Cord as their ability, as one of their moves. So why not Hydralin get Seasong? Okay, there's another chance at SA. Come on! I'm finally getting all to my mask. Yeah, Luminami will lose Megachomp and Frostbeam. Nope, mask swap again. Boo! Like, that's the thing. That's what would fix Hydralin. Seasong would single-handedly fix Hydralin. I don't know if it would be good with it. It would at least be something. It would be something. It'd be this... It would be unique, at least. It would be a unique Lumion. Because it would be one of those rare cases of a pivoting water type that would not be a bulky pivot. It would be more of a hit and runner. Which is something we do not have yet as a water type. What do y'all think? If Hydralin had Seasong, would it make it any good? I honestly think it would be decent with it. Even though it has a low range attack stat, you could use something like Very Nimble or Smart Nimble Specialty Goggles to boost it. And then you have Hydroblast as one of your moves. So you can use something like Seasong Hydralin in the rain. You can use something like Seasong Hydralin in the rain. Or you can even use something like Very Smart Specialty Boots. That could be some in the rain. That's something you could use. Wait, it does not have Hydroblast? I thought it did. I thought it just got it recently. Or I think it's gonna get it. I don't think it has it. I thought it had Hydroblast. Let's see though. Adaptive Assault. Tsunami. Rainbow Blast. No, it doesn't have Hydro Blast yet. It has Tsunami. But I think it's getting Hydro Blast too. So okay, Hydroland does not have Hydro Blast, but I think it's getting it in the next season. Because, you know, the weather season. It's getting Hydro Blast in the future, though. It doesn't have it yet, but it's gonna get it. Still frail as balls, does no damage unless you crit. Yeah, that's fair, but again, it doesn't matter how much damage your Hydroland is doing if you're pivoting out for free. Like, that's the thing for a hit and runner. You don't want a hit and runner OHKOing everything. You just want a hit and runner dealing consistent damage while switching out. So it's fine that Hydroland has a lower damage output. While it's still... It would still do a threatening amount of damage, especially if it's in the rain boosted. Wait, it's getting Climate Cannon instead of that other move? Oh, come on, Jake. Just give it Hydro Blast. Give it Hydro Blast and Sea Song. That would completely fix Hydro Fraud. It would at least make it a good Lumion. It wouldn't make it amazing. It would still have a lot of flaws. But it would at least make it do something. Got Gamma Wizzpup that has Temper. Nice! That is actually PvP viable. Yep, that is. Yeah, Hydro... That's the thing is, like, that's the thing with those fast-hitting runners, not being able to tank hits. Hydro Fraud is frail. So, that's why having the ability to switch out into something bulkier for free damage is such a huge... Like, even if it's not a lot. Like, Wyndolin doesn't do a lot of damage with its Fade Away. In fact, Range Wyndolin actually does more damage than Melee. Especially with the Gloomy ability. But its ability to fade away out of bad matchups while having decent coverage is a huge deal on why Wyndolin's very good. That's another reason why MyMass is very good too. MyMass doesn't do a lot of damage with Fade Away. It doesn't even get stab boosted unless it's Mass Swap. But it's good because it's able to pivot out of a bad matchup because of its hit and run damage. While also having good coverage. So even if like the thing is, in Hydroland's damage is low, but not that low. You could run something like very smart boots or very nimble goggles, and it would deal decent damage on a neutral hit. It just wouldn't do much on a resisted hit, but it wouldn't matter because if they're switching into something that resists a hit, you got free damage while the opposing player doesn't. Jamie is scared that Hydroland being a string with all his critting, even though it has 95 attack. I get that, but the thing is that you're not critting that much on your ranged attacking moves. You're critting on your melee. Like, the main Hydro Fraud set right now is the melee one, because of its critical hit boosting moves. Hydro Blast... I think Hydro Blast right now increases the chance of crits, but it won't in the future. In Sea Song, they don't have boosted critical hit rates, unless it's using the secret ability. Unless it's using the secret ability. Which I feel like, yes, you could get the boost of damage with a critical hit. Maybe even a better chance to crit. But it's only going to be 1/4 of the time with the Scope Lens, with the Legacy ability. And unless you're running Scope Lens, which if you're running Scope Lens on a Sea Songing one, you're not getting consistent damage. Plus you would rather have an item like goggles or boots or cuffs. So you need it to make... So you need Hydroland to actually... Okay, I kind of lost my thought there. I feel like Hydroland can threaten things. The thing is, the melee version is the one that gets boosted by that ability the most. I honestly feel like a Sea Song one would actually, funnily enough, use Hydrate. Would funnily enough use Hydrate, so it's at least immune to a type of attack that it could switch into. That could actually be huge for it. Problem is you're not doing much to other water types in return. Unless you're exclusively running Thistle Slash, which you're not going to do on a range Hydroland that much. What nature you're using? It depends on the item. There's smart nimble on a goggles. There's either very nimble or smart nimble on a goggles Hydralin, or there's very smart boots. I feel like those are the two main sets. And if it's power cuffs, it'd probably be very nimble. I don't know. I have a feeling Seasong Hydralin could work. Look at an Arceus at the last minute. USA? Might as well check. You got an extra PR Celestine, Josh? I'm gonna do another 15-minute hunt, and then I'll see what I do from there. I'm gonna do 2 more. That should get me down to 1 more pity, I think. That should get me down to 1 more pity, I think. If I go right here and activate them. That should give me at least 1 more pity for this event. And who knows, I might not even reach pity, we'll see. Let's do this! I think this is a new... I think this year, Easter event, we'll get Soulburst Dorigo. Or we'll get a new Lumion. Soulburst Dorigo would be so strong. Like, honestly, if Soulburst Dorigo just kept Anomaly as its ability, it would actually just be the most broken Soulburst on the planet. Exactly! Yeah, I could use his antlers as flutes for Seasong. Exactly! A water deer can sing, Jamie. A water deer can indeed sing. What do you think of Magnify Plasma? Honestly, I'm fine with it getting honestly, Magnify on Plasma could actually be pretty strong. Because it'd actually give it damage output. So there's at least that niche. That's fair. That is true, Corey. Luminami can't switch in to Seasong Hydralin. That is true. Especially with Luminami being common right now. But I will also say, good teams also counter Luminami by either placing barbs and hazards. Like, I'll find a way to break through the Luminami problem. But that is a fundamental problem. Luminami can't switch into it every single time, unless you're exclusively running Thistle Slash, which you're almost never running on a ranged Hydralin. And even then, Thistle Slash does 30% on a critical hit to Luminami. So yeah, that's a problem too. I think it could make sense. I mean, Hydralin has the design. I feel like its design makes sense to have Seasong. I know, Heatwave teams are brutal. There are other creatures. Yeah, it's a pretty vague type of move, exactly. Exactly, Nullfile. I 100% agree with it. It would make thematical sense for Hydralin to have Seasong. And that would actually make it viable. It would make it viable. It would help it. If not viable, it would make it usable. It would make it usable. What are some of the other moves? It has Air Blade as a range move. It has Tsunami as its main stab. Has Teardown, actually, so it can remove hazards. Emergency hazard removal if needed. Nope! Let's not give to Clip Slash and Flee or Baffle. No way. Poor Hydralin. Hydralin's just getting dusted. That could be a fun You know what? That could be one of my showcases. An experimental show. We could do experimental showcases. What if Hydralin had Seasong? Oh my god. That could actually be an insane idea. What? Like, that could actually be one of my showcases. What if Hydralin had Seasong? If we could actually see it in battle, would it actually make it usable in this meta? Oh my god, that is such a good idea. You know what? You know what? I might do that. Sorry, I'm about to go. Alright, good luck, Mochibi. Final Jab on Bandoki would be so strong. But if the Variolutions had their Lumipedia descriptions, Hydralin would be something talking about singing. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, Discordance would be a good move for it. Discordance would actually be a good move for Hydralin, I feel like. It wouldn't hit Lumi, but it would hit Lashent. Water Bug, I feel like, is pretty good. Water Bug Air would be... would make it so nothing can switch into it. Okay. Discordance would actually make it cook. I know, it's a lot, Corey. It would be a nightmare getting those battles set up, but I'm at least gonna put a try in it. There's no reason why not to try. Come on, another chance at SA. Come on, come on, come on. I won't get pity if I get an SA, but I don't care. SA is more valuable anyway. Assertive is pretty good, actually. Assertive Bandoki is pretty good. Being able to Predictive Strike anything in the game is pretty strong. Not to mention, it does have a lot of utility in Banana Split and Icicle Traps. Problem is, if you're using Assertive Banana Split Bandoki, it's the opportunity cost of not being Banfino. Yeah, if I'm using experimental battles, everyone is just going to use weird sets. Nobody's going to use a normal team. Would I get an unfair advantage if I use Seasong Hydralin? Yes. But that's kind of the point of what the showcase is. It's testing stuff. Seeing how it would work in battle. But the problem is if I tell people that I'm using Seasong Hydralin, people are going to text so hard just versus that. And I'm not going to have a normal battle with it. So this kind of tough. Fun fact, Jamie still doesn't have a test Coliseum after 4 years of waiting. Yeah, he doesn't. So, but you could at least use Dream Teams to at least test stuff. You can at least test stuff that's already in the game. It'll be harder to test stuff that's not in the game. So if you have the physical moves or the physical... If you have the physical moves and the physical Lumion and the physical abilities in the game, you could indeed test them. It just, you would not be able to test anything that's been added in the future. So you could technically test stuff. It's just, there's only so, you can only test what's already in-game. That's kind of, honestly, that's kind of another reason why I want another PvP balancer in the game. Like, honestly, like, if Llama Train Studios hired me as a balancer, just testing up niche mechanics that are already in the game, I feel like that can go a long way when it comes to the balancing of Lumion Legacy PvP. Exactly. That's true, Core. Like, again, but that's the thing. If I'm focused on trying to see if a new Lumion's fine with a new move, Jamie can focus on the new guys. Jamie can focus on the new guys. All of his focus won't be specifically tied to everything. And again, it doesn't even have to be me. It could be, you could just hire anyone into that role. You could just hire anyone that you trust into that role, just testing that kind of stuff. And then Jamie can just focus on giving stats and abilities to the new guy. Of course, it isn't just going to be testing experimental Lumions. They're going to have to talk with Jamie and talk about how they performed and what they would do to the meta. Like, you would have to explain. Like, the thing is, it would still be tough, but it would definitely get a lot of load off of Jamie. And it would, and I feel like another head in the PvP community is huge for the metagame. Because if it is just one person balancing everything, it can lead to it will always lead to a biased metagame no matter what happens. No matter how good you are as a balancer, it will always lead to some bias being thrown around. Especially for some specific Lumions. Exactly, new stuff for James. That is, yeah, because he has no way to test that kind of new stuff. But if he talks about that kind of new stuff with someone else, we can explain, like, having another person there, we can explain what could happen in a metagame. Like, that's the reason why I feel like another PvP balancer, or at least someone else in that headspace, is a huge deal for the PvP community. That's true, he has Eat, but the problem with Eat is that a lot of Eat's and Jamie's mindsets are pretty similar. Not to mention that Eat hasn't played Lumion Legacy in a long time either. I feel like if he got someone like you, Corey, or someone like me, or even someone like Speeder who plays very casually, I feel like that can go a long way. Like even someone like Speeder who plays just casually, I think would work. Because he's at least someone that plays every day, even if it's not against the best opponents. The problem is, if we add Savage Horn to every Vari, but only for the males, it would just add more value for the male Varis. It'll add less value for the female ones, and I'm not a big fan of that. Plus, there'd be some Lumions of Savage Horn, which would actually be pretty strong. I feel like only certain Lumions should get that. Yeah, plus the females do still have small horns, so... yeah. Yeah, casual... that is true. Like, another... like a... I don't think a... I don't think a Speeder would help if the PvP balancer is Jamie, but I feel like a Speeder would help if a PvP balancer was someone more competitive. You know what I mean? So I feel like having the casual mindset and a competitive mindset is huge to satisfy both sides. But if we have Jamie and Speeder both doing balancing, I don't think it would work as well because they're both more on the casual mindset. Especially Speeder. Speeder plays PvP a lot more casually. There's no problem with casual PvP. I'm not saying that there's a problem with that at all. There's not. Sometimes it's fun just to play a quick battle and then just have fun with tech sets. It doesn't matter if it's not the most consistent set or not. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's just I feel like when it comes to PvP, and when it comes to having another person in the head of the PvP community, I feel like a lot of the casual stuff within the PvP community is well realized. I feel like the competitive PvP scene isn't well realized right now, and I feel like that's something we're adding a Corey or a me or someone else in the competitive PvP scene, someone that Llama Train Studios and Jamie can trust into that spot, could be a huge deal. We would be removing stuff like Tamp Gastroc and Tonberria Picolio. Speeder casually just PvPing with a very casual Gamma SA roamers he gets his hands on. I don't think he gets his hands on all of them. I think he trades for a lot of them. But yeah, he does get a couple rare ones. I'm predicting 5 turns ahead. And if my opponent doesn't do what I think, that means they're... wow. Wow, Corey, wow! The true competitive PvP mindset, baby. You gotta love the true competitive PvP mindset. I do like the PvP scene overall, just overall, on how much is viable. Yeah, like, 95% of the Lumions you can at least use. That is something Lumion Legacy has. Yes, there is a meta. There are the same 20 or 25 meta threats you're going to use on every team. But, if you are forced to use a specific Lumion, you're at least going to have a good time with most of the Lumions in the game. There's only a certain few you're going to struggle with. There's Slavice, there's Ice Guard Drone, and Hydrovan. Also, not Terrafly, what, the other bug. The other Outrun bug. Cinema. Rageful Plushie Hunter, baby! I kind of want to showcase Rageful Plushie Hunter now, even though it'll just always get O-code. All right, my last pity of the event is coming right here, right now. Wish me luck. Probably the final pity of the event. Wish me luck. Uh-oh. I mean, an Alpha Wazzle isn't bad. I already got one though, and I already got a Gamma too. It's not a bad one. I agree, Heat Wave doesn't need a buff. We should PvP? I'm gonna PvP it later today. Oh yeah, Corey, I remember! Someone used a Rageful Plushie Shyenta to specifically beat Luminami in a IEAT tournament. I remember that. I forgot who did it, but there was someone who did that. I remember. Someone used a Rageful Plushie Shyenta just to beat Luminami. Even back then, people were still teching against Luminami. People were exploiting Luminami's lack of damage output back then. Somehow survived an Ikazune Fire Breath. Wow. That's crazy. Then he killed it with Mega Chomp, probably. Well then. That is funny. Alright. That's gonna be the Joshua Star event for me. That's it. That's the event. Unless I get more boost tokens, which I'm not. Don't send me your boost tokens. That's it. That's gonna be it for the event for me. This will be my whole. It was Tyler using hyper offense versus LSU stall. Is that how he beat LSU? Oh, so LSU lost to that. Wow, LSU losing to LSU losing when it matters. Who would have saw that one coming? So this is the haul I got. Not an amazing haul, but better than most. I mean, I got a lot of alphas. I got a Gammavari, Alpha Solnecta, Secret Ability Solnecta, Alpha Icicle, a bunch of these alpha fellas. Hey, I got this guy at least. I am happy because I got this guy. So you know what? That by itself is a win, because I'm using this Akalos, baby. I'm using that Akalos, baby. And I mean, 2 Alpha My Mask. And I did get a Gamma one of these, too, so that's cool. Not a bad haul, I just think I could have done better, you know? I think I just could have done better, though. I've used like 120 to maybe 130 boost tokens. So I think I could have done better, though. If I just had a couple of extra things to hit. Like, I had 4... corrupt reskin of Kazunes in this event. No. No file, don't send boost tokens. It's fine. It's fine. Got a Gleam Santa Ragoon? Nice. But don't send me boost tokens. Don't do it. I'm fine. I don't need any boost tokens. I mean, I guess something I can do is hunt for 1,500 peppermints. And try to open up another 30 Terradescents and do one more chance of getting a Gamma Terradescent. You could send them to Corey if you want. Don't send them to me though. Even if I do get 50 boost tokens, I'm not gonna have enough time to go through all of them anyway. Plus, I have other stuff I want to do today too, so. I'm not going to be streaming until the event ends. I'm only going to be streaming until I feel like I'm tired. So yeah. Plus, I need to get the showcases done. I haven't had uploads for 2 days, so I need to make it up to y'all for not uploading. You can send them to Corey if you want, but don't send them to me. I don't need boost tokens. There isn't going to be another event where I'm going to use those boost tokens until 3 or 4 months anyway. Even when Route 9 comes out, I'm not really going to be hunting for the reskins. Or I'm not going to be hunting for the new Gleam and Gamma reskins immediately, because I'm going to be focusing on the showcases and getting those out. And then I'm probably going to be focusing on top 10s and top 5s. Like, I'm going to be focusing... I have other priorities before I get Alpha and Gamma reskins of all the new Limians from Route 9. I'll give you a Twilight for some boost. Nah, I don't have any Robux. I used all my Robux to get an extra 10 boost tokens. So, I'm out of I have 50 Robux, and I have 2 boost tokens left. I'm pretty broke. Dogs should get all the hazards. I don't know. I don't want Terracino to get all of them. Does Terracino have barbs yet? Does it have barbs? Honestly, if Terracino had barbs, it'd actually be a solid barbs Limian with Dissipate. If I don't see him, he can't see me, right? Okay, we're good. I guess it's true. I guess if you don't see them, they don't see you. So it has no hazards. Terracino with hazards would actually be interesting. It would actually be very strong. Because the pure simple typing is actually not a bad defensive type. You're only weak to 2 types. And Terracino has the bulk to live the hits. Not to mention that you have a hazard setting move, Dissipate, Rejuvenate, and then a final move of choice. Probably Body Slam just to deal consistent damage. Yeah, and it has Enchanted Coat as well. That would actually, given that something like Barbs would actually be very good for it. Because you can actually use it to set up Barbs on a Lumion like Luminami. That could actually be very strong. It would be a Barbs Lumion that would have Dissipate Pivot. Which would make it distinctly unique. And it would have the bulk and the defensive typing to live the hits. Because the thing is, Pure Simple isn't a good defensive typing unless you have good bulk. Which Terracino has good bulk. Despite not having any resistances, it only has 2 weaknesses. And the Enchanted Coat ability, making it so it doesn't even die from those super effective hits as much. So it would be good. Gamma Solnecta, 2 Gleam Echas, 1 Gleam Reskin Gram, 5 Gleam Toyak. Wow, you cooked. You cooked. The Gamma Solnecta is going to be good. I got the Alpha form and the secret ability. Yeah, Terracino would work. Would work as this bulky barb setter that can pivot. It can kind of fit 2 roles in 1 team spot. It can kind of fit 2 roles in 1 team spot. But it comes at the cost of not having a Lumion you can easily switch in on. The only Lumions you'd be able to switch in on are either Spirit types or Lumions that are offensive, late game cleaners, not necessarily wall breakers. Because Terracino could still die from very hard-hitting hits. But it could switch into something like Elemental Burst Zulong, or it could switch into something like Do or Die Ronsador if it's not Specialty Goggles. There are some specific Lumions it can switch in on, and then it can either set up Barbs or Rejuvenate spam on them. And then Dissipating out. I would still have an attacking move, just so you're not completely Provoke bait. Okay, nope, he's not right here. Okay, no, he's gonna be right here in a second, though. Will he? I just make Leshant keep Icicle Traps. I don't know why Jamie's getting rid of Icicle Traps on Leshant. I would be a lot happier if he got rid of Earthquake on Leshant. Just so fire types can at least consistently switch in more. There'll also be a bonus on actually buffing toxic types as well. Because toxic types are weak to Earth. Oh, my bad. Like, I feel like just getting rid of Earthquake and it keeping Icicle Traps is huge. Because Leshant would at least have a weakness for Lumion switching in. Yes, it is understandable that the Sap Plant Lumions, our plant types, are weak to Icicle Traps. But it's not the end of the world. Also, my frames are starting to drop, by the way. Sorry if it lags a lot. So we have no idea what Jamie wants to do with Leshant. Just get rid of Earthquake on it! Oh, just get rid of Earthquake! Earthquake! Like, the thing is, I know not every single Leshant uses Earthquake, But there are some Lashents that do run Earthquake, just to specifically deal with fire and toxic types. Getting rid of Earthquake would solve a lot of problems. It would not be able to deal with Stall Shent, but you could deal with Stall Shent if you can outplay it. You can outplay Stall Shent. I didn't find that many good finds, unfortunately. I mean, I got an Alpha Mimas, which is cool. But that's kind of it from the stream, and now I'm out of boost tokens. Or at least I only have 2 left. So I'm using those 2 boost tokens on a completely different thing altogether. I'm going to open up another 30 Terradescences, and I'm going to see if I can get something. I got a lot of Alpha Terradescences. I can probably give a few away. I don't think people will complain that we'll lose Chaps, but I just feel like there's a better way to nerf Lashent. Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead. Legit 1 second away. Yo, why does Lashent have it? I'll do a PvP stream in the future. To be fair, most of my streams recently have been PvP. Yeah, that's the problem. Lashent has it because Christmas Cradle has it. Oh, it's painful! Maybe they could just make it a level 1 move on Festifer. It would remove it from Christmas Cradle, which would suck because I know Boots Cradle can sometimes be used, but I feel like that'd be the way to do it. I feel like it losing Earthquake would be it. Yeah, it's true. It doesn't really need a nerf, to be fair. But if I were to nerf it, Earthquake would be where I would hit, not Icicle Traps or Sap Plant. And this is coming from someone who thinks Stall Shent's annoying. I don't like Stall Shent, but that doesn't mean that I think it should get nerfed to the ground. The only way I would nerf it is getting rid of Earthquake so fire types could switch in better. But that's really it. Like, that's really it. Little Cup Cradle will be fine. Little Cup, it won't even need Earthquake anyway. It would hit really hard without Earthquake anyway. It would just hurt in a normal play when there's metal types that can consistently switch into it. Oh no, fire types. Thing is, Christmas Cradle hits so hard in Little Cup, it's not going to hurt it too much. It'll still be able to hit fire types for a lot of damage because it has Chill boosted Raging Tackle. And in Little Cup, high base power moves matter a lot more. So in Little Cup, Christmas Cradle losing Earthquake would not hurt it that much. It will still just absolutely nuke things, even stuff that resist Chill boosted Raging Tackles. It is. It is. But that's exactly the reason why I want Lashent to lose Earthquake. So, and it's not that it doesn't have any other coverage moves. It still has Ice Dark, Plant. It still has 3 different moves it can use. It still has 3 different coverage options it can use. It'll be a lot harder to hit. It would be a lot harder to hit Toxic and Fire types, and that's the thing. Lumions need to have Lumions that can consistently beat it. Oh, you are right. There is Mbit. That is true, actually, Corey. It would probably hurt it in Little Cup. Okay, that's fair. There is Mbit. Mbit does exist in Little Cup. I forgot about that. Other than Mbit, which Lumion can switch in, though? And you could always, to be fair, you could sap plant Mbit coming in. But, yeah, that's true. It wouldn't do that much to it. Well, sap plant sucks in Little Cup. But it's something, I guess. He's coming this way. How bulky is Wizpup? He's not going this way, right? Yep, he's not going this way. Good. Yeah, Sap Plant's terrible in Little Cup because the HP stats are low. They do nothing. Sap Plant, the thing is you'd use Sap Plant to get consistent damage on Mbit as you switch out into something else. Despite being terrible in Little Cup, it would be there for that specific matchup because actually you have Tricky Tactics. It has Tricky Tactics. So Christmas Cradle will probably just use Tricky Tactics instead. But that still doesn't fix the Mbit problem. I know, like, I wish Lumion Legacy just did more of that stuff. Like, what if we had a global challenge that was Little Cup rules? Like, why can't we just have something like that in the game? On top of it, not just the rank season, but have little stuff like that sprinkled within. That can make PvP so much more fun. Can anyone please give me a trick to complete the maze? To complete the maze, hug the sides. Hug to one side and stick with it. That's my strategy. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that the Lumion devs aren't fun. I just think they're focused on trying to release Route 9 right now. And since they're so focused on that and the update's not coming out, it's making the rest of the game feel dry. Because there isn't that much replayability within the game. It's not that they're not suggesting our... It's not that they are not listening to us. It's that they're focused on this Route 9 thing coming out. That's why I wish they added more replayable stuff when they made Atlantean City. That's true, Corey. Jamie got death threats over that. Yeah, this community sucks sometimes. Also, Gremmuline sucks. He's coming this way. I'm just farming Ments for Terradescent. You have death threats over changing a format. Yeah, great idea, guys. How are we ever going to have different stuff in PvP now when y'all send JV death threats? I know it's not y'all. I know it's other people in the community, but still. Like, how is JV ever going to listen to us if he's going to receive death threats? Like, honestly, if people send death threats, they deserve to be in a jail cell. I know I said this a lot of times already, but I'm really just hammering the point in. I want people to know that they should never give death threats to anyone. Graphics are a bit old. Yeah, my stream. I'm having. Yeah, my stream frame rate is bad right now. I'm sorry. The house. He's right there, actually. I see him. He's coming around that... Nope. He's not coming around that corner. Okay, nope. He's going that way. I see him. Oh, that's a dead end. I thought he was coming this way. So which way is he coming from? He's coming from here, then. Yeah, he comes from this way. I think he just walked away, though. So we're good. So, yeah, I'm sorry if I'm not reading the chat. I'm going to be back on the chat in a little bit. I just want to reach the end of the base first. I'm focused. I'm locked in. I'm locked in the maze. I'm locked in. Okay, I found a dead end. I can read the chat. See, the hair will grow back if he does what he waits. Mixed regular boots, volcanic cradle would go crazy. Blaze of glory and flare blast. I know, like nothing. The only thing I can switch into those two attacks are raging fire Lumions, who are weak to earthquake and mudslide. They're weak to earth. Okay, he's coming this way. Not coming this way, right? Yep, it's going that way. Good. Okay, I'm focused. I'll be back in the chat in a little bit. I will say, as much as I love the maze minigame, it's a bad minigame to stream because you can't really read the chat. Like, as much as I don't like gift exchange, the gift exchange minigame would be the perfect minigame to stream. Y'all know what I mean? I've literally seen people donate to a charity to send death threats to a creator. Bruh. Yeah, we could do that, Sherbot PvP. I'm not sure when I'll be active, but we'll see. Just don't step in a bear trap, Josh. Lock in. Most of my deaths come from bear traps. I feel like we're close to the end. Yep, we are. Can you make a video for your favorite Lumians? I can make a top 5 video. Top 5 or top 10, my top 10 favorite Lumians. That'd be good. TOT was the most recent one getting death threats. Yeah, that creator being Bedborn. Yeah, I know. Death threats just frustrate me so much. It's because I think a big reason is because I am a victim. Like, I received death threats before, so I know how it feels to get them. It doesn't feel good. Yeah, like, gift exchange as a minigame is worse than the maze. But on stream, gift exchange on stream would be absolutely peak. It would be absolutely peak, wouldn't it? Y'all would be sabotaging me, but it would be so peak. It'd be so peak. I know we haven't got that in a while. It's because... The reason why we haven't gotten it is because people would have complained that the maze would have not been there this year. I think that's the reason why they haven't returned gift exchange. It's because the maze is better, and they made the maze a Christmas minigame instead of a Halloween minigame. Yeah, remember when the maze minigame was a Halloween minigame and not a Christmas one? Good times. Those were good times. I played on old COD lobbies. Gift exchange is better. Maze is easier, but it's... Exchange is funnier. I will give it that. It's just grinding gift exchange. Gift exchange on the first 5 or 10 plays is fun. And then after that, if you're not actively streaming it, it's the most slow and obnoxious minigame of all time. He's coming this way, but I can get away. I guess I can't get away. Getting away doesn't exist, I guess. The top 3 favorite PvP Lumians? Boots Geklo, Goggles Geklo, and Clutch Plushie Geklo? Yeah, I'll just be Geklo. Just different sets. Yeah, the gift exchange rewards are buns. I agree. I'm with you on that, actually. They'd have to buff the awards. Oh, they would have to 100% buff the awards. The problem with the gift exchange minigame is that it's so slow. It takes so long to get one game done, and you get rewards of like 10 peppermints. I think they would have to buff the rewards of the gift exchange, or they would have to reduce the price of everything. Both options would probably work. You would either have to reduce the price of all the stuff, or you would have to increase the production. You would have to increase the rates of getting the items. If you want to be easier, you reduce the price. I personally think that's what Lumion Legacy would do. They would reduce the price of all the stuff you would buy in the shops. He's right there, isn't he? Yep, he is. Why did I even wait? If I hear something, I should just trust my gut. I got away somehow. You know what? I'm going to follow this new route. This will lead me to the end of the maze, hopefully. That's a dead end. Because Nevermare appeared from the wall. It's coming this way. I'm stuck behind here, though. Am I going back the same way I went? Oh. Ah, these bear traps suck! I want to get to 1500, but it takes so long. Yeah, your favorite Lumien's probably Goatervale. Oh, wow, I'm tired. Oh my god. I didn't sleep well last night. I tried to get up early. Usually I'm still asleep at this time. Usually I stay up late and I sleep in. That's what I usually do. But today, I set my alarm really early today, so I can get up and stream. That's the reason why I'm up right now. Usually I'm just getting up right now. So I am a little tired, and I'm not the best in the morning. I'm a little bit grouchy in the morning, y'all could say. I don't think it's going to be right after I stream. It'll be sometime during the day, though. I'll make a post on my YouTube channel when I'm starting the showcase. It'll probably be an experimental showcase, though. The problem is, they'll probably know what the showcase will be. I really just want to. I just really want to see if Seasong on Hydralin would be good. I feel like it would be good because it would actually make it a hit and runner kind of Lumion. It would make Hydralin play a lot differently than what it was before. Oh yeah, my sleep schedule does not exist. I wanted to do this for y'all because I knew I didn't have an upload going into today, so I wanted to make it up with an early stream and around the same time. It's not that I don't want to do uploads, it's just that I've been thinking about a lot of ideas, but not fully committing to any of them. Not fully committing to the... Like, the thing is, I have a lot of ideas of what I could do for showcases, but I want to make sure I showcase something that is semi-consistent, because every time I try to show something that is inconsistent, I always struggle with it. I want to make sure I'm able to use it well. Like, that's the reason why I don't showcase as many techs anymore. It's so much harder to showcase techs nowadays, because tech Lumions are so inconsistent when I'm... Especially when the PvP prowess of the players I'm facing are a lot higher than they used to be. In the past, I could get away with it a lot more. But now people can build their dream team. But since I play on dream teams, I play against people who at least know how to play the game. That's the problem. If I pick experimental... It just feels like such an unfair advantage for me if I use just Seasong on Hydralin while other people are forced to use normal Lumions. Like, that's the thing. It's so tough to make a showcase like that work. Like, it wouldn't be a fair battle, but the thing is, the point of an experimental showcase is not to show necessarily my PvP skill. It's just to show what that Lumion could be in a meta in the current meta. Midnight Gamma Gleam Archeros Jump Scare? Nice. Alright, let's do this. Like, that's the thing. Like, people... I don't know what people would think on that. Like, that's the thing. The thing is, if other people were to use experimental teams against my Seasong Hydralin, the video would not work as well, because... those experimental Lumions would not make sense in the current meta because they cannot be used. Like, the thing is, even though I am trying to experiment with Seasong Hydralin to see if it would work, at the end of the day, you can't use Seasong Hydralin right now. It's not a move that exists in the game for Hydralin. Gold Blue Inami would be so cool, but it would be weird as well. The sad part is I actually think it thematically fits with Luminami. It'd be so strong, though. But it does thematically fit with Illumian to have gold. But boy, last thing we need is Luminami to have another move that benefits without restrictive items. I don't think it needs that. Plus, getting rid of a critical specialty item like gloves or boots, or could be huge and game-changing. Oh. I knew you were there. I'm stuck in a wall too. Okay, run, 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 run. How are you catching up to me? Run, 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 run. Whew! That was close. That was a close call. I have a feeling that's a dead end over there. So you know what? I'm gonna trust Gremlin and trust that there's nothing that way. All right, let's go. If the goal line is over there, I'm gonna be very upset. How did you make that? No clue. Someone already reached the finish line, so that means it's not that way then. Unless someone went around me. I don't think it's that way. Not this way, I don't think. Oh, he is this way, isn't he? He's not this way. So, it must be right here, then. Nope, it's not right. It is that way, isn't it? The finish line is that way, isn't it? It is that way. Oh, golly gracious. Golly gracious, it is that way, isn't it? Unless it is this way. Which it could be this way. Yeah, it could be this way. We'll see, though. Is that the end? Oh, not right there. There is another house right here, which is good. Didn't mean to run into that candy cane. Not ideal. Not ideal movement. Go distract Gremuli. Yeah, Lumion Legacy's scary sometimes. He's right there. I gotta be so close, right? Yay! It is over here. Nice. Nice. More times reach the finish line, the easier it will be to grind the pack. I'm still over 500 away, though. The stream is going to be a lot longer. Yep, I used Flash and Flee and I won. By the way, 30 people are watching the stream. Thank you all very much. It's only scary when you have horrible graphics and graphic jump scare with a question mark. Yeah. Summon the power of Geklos to Flash and Flee to Grim. 10 Dakutas and Gremulines. Ouch, that's brutal. Also, get your Tundralins and Wintrixes now. I'm not sure when the next chance you'll have on getting a Tundralin or a Wintrix. So get them in this event now. I don't think it'll be that long until Route 9 comes out, and I believe you can get them both in Route 9, but I could be wrong. We'll see, though. Oh, yes, you got your Celesting. Nice. So you at least got your Celesting. Perfect. Perfection. Oh, that guy's lagging. That's the starting line, so let's go this way. We'll go right this way, I think. Yep, this way is the way to go. Okay, so you got Wintrix already. That's good. There you go. I'm getting a lot of peppermints. Thing is, the more... there's a bear trap right there. Be careful. Oh, yeah. Got it. 3 bear traps. Jeez, that was... That could have taken out an entire squad of people. That could have taken out a squad. That's a dead end. Trying to hunt for SA Christmas Snaggle. Good luck. What is Snaggle's SA? There's a Immunized Marksman. What is its last ability? I won't lie, I kind of forgot what its last ability is. It's Immunize Marksman. Unless its secret ability is Marksman. Then what is it? I don't remember. It has 3 abilities, I think. Marksman, Immunize, and 1 more. Clingy. Okay, so Essay is Marksman. Okay. Immunize is one of its normal, and Clingy is the other one. And Clingy is mainly used on Snag Goal. The reason why it's used on Snag Goal is so it can never lose its Drop of Youth item. That's what made Snag Goal so strong, is that it could never lose its item. So it always kept its Drop of Youth bulk. So you can actually switch into Slap Down. And it's good at removing hazards, too. They're good, he ran away. He's right there. Oh! Really?! Why was there a bear trap right there? Bruh! I remember... Oh my god, I remember when Protagon was in the maze. Oh my god, Protagon in the maze was horrible because it would shoot lasers, and sometimes if you're getting chased, there's no way you could dodge the lasers when it happened. People think the bear traps are bad. The Protagon lasers are even worse. Yeah, the bear traps are bad, but the lasers are even worse. Alright, let's go. I'm 500 away. I'm still 500 away? Oh, God. It's gonna be another 40 minutes until I get the next 500 the way I've been playing. I need to focus up. Focus. Yeah, bear traps the entire length of the maze. Good thing is we're all together. So that means, since we're all together, they'll get caught first and I can sneak around. Never mind, we lost one. He's right there. Perfect. Thank you. Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make. No, I'm dead. Why did I do this? So dumb. Oh, it's a house. Never mind. Let's go! Again, some of you will die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Who would have saw the day that I would take advantage of my own viewers? Who would have saw the day? Hey, I'm still alive, which is good. Joshua, you scapegoat, intense sacrifice. Yeah, sacrificing my own viewer. I should name this. I should rename the stream from Final Jolly Village stream to Joshua sacrificing his own viewers. That'd be such a controversial title, though. I don't think I'll do that. Sounds so wrong out of context. Bear traps. Sacrifice I'm willing to make. I wonder if y'all guys got that reference. Which movie is that line from? I don't know if it originated from this movie, if it was reference, or if it was a reference, but it came from a very famous animated movie. Joshua feeds the cat. He's turning into Doug. Joshua's the 05. You gotta keep the 05 alive. It's the Fast and the Furious. I actually haven't watched Fast and the Furious. But yeah, I learned that line from Shrek. I don't know if it was an originated line or if it was a reference to another movie. So if it was probably a reference to another movie, considering what the Shrek franchise is. It's just a bunch of references. And let's just say that the Shrek is the king of referencing other movies. Thing is, the reason why the Shrek franchise works is because they make their own takes on stories that already exist. That's how Shrek stands out as a franchise. Right. I was playing Disc Drop, but I immediately knew the line. Yeah, let's go! I haven't watched Fast and the Furious, so I meant the Shrek line. But it probably was not originate. Thing is, I don't think any line is original anymore. I think so many movies are out there, and so many people make certain lines, that probably every single creative line someone makes is probably referenced from something else. Yeah, Shrek, especially the first two Shreks, were very smartly made. I agree. Yeah, people... Oh, yeah, the TikTok reference. Honestly, if there is one franchise that could maybe make the TikTok thing work, it could probably be Shrek. Problem is that the redesign... I don't know. Okay. I'm not a big fan of the redesigns. I do like how they reference the... I like how the new Shrek design does look similar to the original Chris Farley Shrek. Also, Gremlin just ate me for breakfast. I do like how it looks a little more like the Chris Farley Shrek. The original Shrek design. You know the original Shrek design that was originally voiced by Chris Farley. It kind of looks like a more modernized version of that. That is something I will say about the redesign. Even though I'm not a big fan of it, I do like how it does reference the original Chris Farley design. What do y'all think? It's a nice little piece of history. Yeah, she doesn't look great, but she's an ogre. That's kind of the whole thing of the series. Ogres don't look good. They're ogres. The whole point is... That's kind of the whole thing of the franchise. Isn't it? Like... Wasn't that the whole original plot of the first movie? With Shrek trying to... show himself that he's more than just a scary ogre? They immediately just look at him and they're like, ah, hell, it's a big, stupid, ugly ogre. I wonder if that is going to be a plot. Really? I'm behind the Tundrelin thing! How do you see me? Jeez, I'm not looking so hot. No more Shrek than you. I know more Shrek than you, Josh. I'm Scottish, so... so is the green fella. Hey! He's my uncle. Sorry, Josh. Can't one-top that demon. I gotta set up a palm or two. I know it's not opaque, but I can dream. Come on. I don't know how else... Even if it was a freaking... Even if there was an opaque pole there, we'd probably see me. Exactly. Like, that's what makes the original... That's what made the original Shrek so special. Is it was a classic twist of a typical fairy tale. Which, in 2001, not many of those kinds of stories existed back then. Oh, why are you going this way? Hi, Giovanni. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, that's what made the original Trek so popular at the time. Problem is that other franchises try to copy that genre, and they don't do it well. Funnily enough, a lot of them are DreamWorks movies, funnily enough. You know, the same studio that makes Shrek. Like, I feel like the perfect example of the typical twist formula not working is another DreamWorks movie. I'm not sure if I should talk about it. It's one of the more recent movies, so I don't know if everyone watched the movie, but it's another DreamWorks movie that tried to make a twist of the typical story. In let's just say it was a good movie at first. They had something going on, and then they tried to do their typical DreamWorks stuff, and it kind of killed the third act. I'm not going to say the name of the movie if y'all haven't seen it yet, but people that have watched this DreamWorks movie will probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Shrek was a perfect troll for Disney. Not just at the time, but it still is today. Like, Puss in Boots 2: The Last Wish literally made Jack Horner. And Jack Horner is literally the perfect definition of Disney. It owns everything, but he doesn't know how to use anything. Like, the perfect scene with Jack Horner is the Excalibur scene, where he kept Excalibur in the freaking stone, and he has a giant phoenix, this mystical phoenix. Beautiful creature. No, just use it as a flamethrower. Yep, that definitely seems like something Disney would do. Yeah, DreamWorks does a very good job at mocking Disney. That's originally why they were made, because in the original Toy Story, one of the people that was there for Toy Story did not like the direction Toy Story took, so he eventually left. It eventually made Shrek in DreamWorks. I don't know, I haven't watched any Illumination movies, but other than the Mario movie, I haven't watched any Illumination movies as of late. I don't know if they follow that same formula or not anymore. I know they still make movies. I heard they're making another Mario movie, which I saw the trailer. Looks awesome, by the way. I'm excited for the second Mario movie. But we'll see. Really? You're bringing him to me? I'm so dead. You just literally brought him to my grave. Wow, that strategy really works. Yeah, Despicable Me is inspired by Shrek, but again, they did it in a different way, though, too. Like, they did it in a way which the thing that really made Despicable Me shine wasn't the fact that it was heavily inspired by Shrek, but it was the fact that it was just a charming movie altogether. Like, it was just charming. I mean, the family dynamics, like, a simple family dynamic, if done well, is a very simple path to success. It works really well. Like, the whole family dynamic between Gru and well, I'm dead. Between Gru and the girls are just something you can't top. Something very hard to top, but very easy to make for a movie. Yeah, it was only popular because of the Minions, but Despicable Me, it had something there. At least compared to the sequels. Problem is that the Minions marketing could sell a lot of money, but people tend to forget how charmingly good the first movie was, all because of the Minion marketing and the sequels. I don't think I've watched the fourth one though, so I can't really make an opinion on the fourth Despicable Me. But I've watched 2 and 3, and while I thought 2 was a guilty pleasure, I actually despised 3. I hated Despicable Me 3. I hated Despicable Me 3, actually. I hate it. I hated it. I hated Despicable Me 3. Gru's funny. Yeah, Gru is a good protagonist. Vector is a great villain. And Gru's interaction with the girls is something you can't beat. It's a nice family dynamic with a supervillain and 3 orphans. Like, it's just a very good and charming movie. Not to mention, Vector is a funny villain, had interesting characters. Dr. Nefario was a good character. And of course, the Minions, as annoying as the Minions could be sometimes, are just useful little sidekicks to Gru. And they occasionally sprinkled some of the Minion scenes within the movie. It wasn't oversaturated in the first movie, despite the marketing being oversaturated. The movie wasn't oversaturated by Minion shenanigans, unlike the sequels. Where the sequels focused a lot more on the Minions, when the Minions should just be little side shorts, like Illumination already does already for the Minions. Like, honestly, I feel like Despicable Me is one of those franchises that would work better as a TV show than it does as an overall movie. That's what I think. I think the Despicable Me franchise would have been better if it just had one movie, and then the rest of the movies were tied together by a plot in a TV show. What are you doing here? Oh my god, he sacrificed his life for me. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the Minion movies are not that good. I haven't watched the second Minion movie, but the first Minion movie, yeah, not that good. I still like, funnily enough, I actually still like the first Minion movie better than Despicable Me. Is that kind of sad? Not the first one, I meant the first Minion movie I like better than Despicable Me 3. Sounds weird, doesn't it? I really did not like 3. I really did not like 3 at all. I hated 3, actually. Yeah, but at least with the Minions movie, at least with the Minion movie, you know what you're getting into. It's literally called The Minion Movie. If you watched any Minion shorts or any of the other shenanigans in the Despicable Me movies, Minion nonsense is expected to happen. At least you know what you're getting with a Minions movie. With Despicable Me 3, you expect the... With Despicable Me 3, you just expect a lot more. You just expect a lot more from the Despicable Me movie compared to a Minion movie. That's what I think. Sometimes expectations going into a movie are a huge deal. If you're going into something with low expectations, you're not going to be as disappointed when you watch it. If you haven't watched the Minions before, you'll have about... Yeah, that's true. If you haven't watched any Minion shenanigans before, you probably wouldn't like the Minions movie. Yo, is that the GOAT Josh with one final Xmas event stream? Yep, it is. Yeah, that was legit the finale. That's legit how they won. That's basically what it was. But the thing is, if you know Despicable Me and if you know all the Minion shorts, you know that that's basically what the Minions do. They just do dumb, funny little shit. Sometimes funny shenanigans. Problem is that works for 3-minute clips. It doesn't really work in a 90-minute movie. I got the Gamma already. I'm just seeing if I can get another one. And I will say, there is actually a couple of good stuff I did like about the Minions movie. I really like the documentary format at the beginning of the Minions throughout history. And I also... Like, I really like that part of the movie. But after that, it didn't work. Again, that part would work really well as an animated short or TV show, but not a full-length 90-minute movie. My finds have been okay. I haven't used many boost tokens, and I found some good finds, but I felt like I missed a couple 1 in 5s. I didn't get any Gamma Roamers. We got a lot of Alpha Roamers and reskins, but I missed a lot of 1 in 5s. I'm going this way because there might be a house this way. House. Oh, no. Sasha, can I ask you a question, please? Alright, what is it, Giovanni? That was the second movie. That wasn't the third movie. The second movie was kind of a guilty pleasure. I liked it, but I feel like there's a lot of stuff in the second movie that's aged very badly. There's a lot of stuff in the second movie where I felt like they could have done more with it. But I feel like the main plot was good enough to keep it at least solid. But I hated a lot of the side stuff in the second movie. I hated a lot of the side stuff. Like, the Minion shenanigans were a little bit too much. The Purple Minion stuff was basically just there for marketing. And a lot of the side plots that happened within the movie just turned out to be nothing to the overall plot. I liked Lucy as a character, honestly. She was a cool character. But she was a cool addition to the series. But again, one solid character doesn't save a movie. Yeah, why is the nacho sombrero not a real thing? Why isn't that a real thing, actually? That thing is sick. I would love a nacho hat. Come on, who wouldn't love a nacho hat? A nacho sombrero would be badass. Yeah, that's fair. It would melt on your head, but still. That would be sick if something like that existed. He's going that way, good. I still need to watch all the animated movies from 2025 onward. I still gotta watch... I know I said this a lot. I gotta watch Bad Guys 2. I gotta watch Elio. I gotta watch K-pop. There's probably another movie I'm missing in there, too. There's still some movies I have to catch up on before I watch all the ones in 2026, which... Honestly, a lot of the movies in 2026 are sequels. So I have no idea how they're going to do. I'm probably going to watch Toy Story 5, even though I don't think it should exist. I'm a Pixar fan. I at least need to see what it is. Probably won't watch it at the theaters. I'll probably watch it once it comes to Disney Plus or something. I don't know. I still got to watch the original Zootopia before I watch Zootopia 2. You're right. That's another one of those movies I have to watch. But I haven't watched the original Zootopia. I've seen scenes of the original Zootopia, but I haven't watched the whole movie. I've seen clips, but not the whole movie. You haven't watched Bad Guys 2, but you watched K-pop? I think the reason why people are bullying K-pop Demon Hunters is because it's popular. When something is as popular as that, it's due to get some criticism, no matter how good or how bad the movie could be. Like, I haven't watched it. I can't make a claim on how good or how bad K-pop Demon Hunters is as a movie, because I haven't watched the thing. If I haven't watched the movie, I can't make an opinion on a movie that I didn't watch. I mean, judging by the trailers, it looked cool. I like the animation. The characters looked interesting, but again, I haven't watched the movie. I can't judge something just off a trailer. I could judge if a trailer's bad, but just because a trailer is bad or good, it doesn't mean the movie's going to be the same thing. Because let's be honest, modern advertising sucks, and modern trailers have no thought and no effort put into them. They're basically just used for marketing. So just because a trailer looks bad or good, it doesn't mean anything about how the movie's actually going to be. I like the original Zootopia, but I'd rather much happier with the scrapped history it have. Love Zootopia. Oscar Nomi's crazy. I don't watch the Oscar nominations. I know, that's basically what they are, and they reveal too much. They do some cringy, poppy, modern-day music. Like, did anyone just watch the Animal Farm trailer? Now, keep in mind, this is coming from someone that has not read the book or watched the original movie. I haven't watched anything about Animal Farm. I just seen a couple one-off clips of the original Animal Farm, and then I watched the trailer. It's ass! Legit terrible. Like, what the heck happened? The modern trailer sucks so much. And that's something that a lot of modern trailers have a problem with. I really don't like modern trailers when it comes to movies. Yeah, award stuff really doesn't matter anymore. It just matters on how much you enjoy something or not. I know, like, I have not watched the original Animal Farm, or even read the book. I've seen a couple of clips comparing the two. Like, I've known nothing about Animal Farm. the first time I ever heard about it is when I watched the new trailer. And I was like, okay, this does not look so hot. Wow, funny Seth Rogen guy. This doesn't look so hot. That's a horrible joke. The human designs don't look good. Oh, God. And then I seen clips show up on my feed of what the original Animal Farm was like. And I was baffled. I couldn't believe it. Is this coming from someone that has not watched or read the original book? And even I knew they screwed up the new movie. That's how bad they messed up that trailer. Someone who had no idea what the original movie was about still cringed at it. That is funny, isn't it? I'll get around him. Thank you. I think it's a dead end this way, but we'll see. Oh! I don't think that's a dead end. Okay, yep. Oh, this way's not a dead end, so I'm behind him. I'm getting egoed. We had to read the book in my history class because it reflects communism in Russia. Yep. That's basically what it reflects. Even from just watching a couple of the clips of the original movie, I kind of knew what it was about. But again, I've known nothing about the movie until I've seen clips of it. And then seeing the new trailer. Again, just because a trailer is bad, it doesn't mean that the movie's going to be that bad. It could be one of those cases of a movie that's laughingly bad, you never know yet. But how do you kill an original story like that? How do you babyfy an original story that badly? You went from tyrannical dictators to look at this! Look at this! Deliciousness! We want this! Like, come on. We're in 2026. Those kind of jokes don't work anymore. No one finds those jokes funny anymore. We're in the year 2026. But yeah. Turning into a goofy kids movie is wrong from the start. They literally turned the horse into glue. Yeah? Oh, there's where the person went down. Ouch. Oh, he's right there! He's right there! He's right there! He's right there! Run! Okay, I'm alive, somehow. He's not going this way, right? Josh, what is a movie you watched before that if you were to make a remake of it now, you would be scared because you know the remake would be bad? It could possibly ruin the reputation of the movie. Okay. If it's okay. It really heavily depends. If the remake is an addition to the plot of the original movie, honestly, I don't get mad at remakes anymore. If a remake is bad, a remake is bad. They're still the original movie. What bothers me more is if a sequel's bad. That bothers me more because it should be an extension of what the original movie is, and it just doesn't work. Like, even if it doesn't work, if a character stays the way that they should, it's fine. But if they completely assassinate what the character was, those are the kind of movies that would bother me the most. A sequel that assassinates the original character. Not assassinate by actual assassination, I meant character assassination. They changed the character to fit a specific plot. But yeah, new remakes to old movies, I don't hate that much anymore. Because again, if a live-action remake is not that good, you could always just watch the original movie without many flaws. It doesn't completely sour the original movie. Fun fact, as bad as the Lilo and Stitch remake was for a lot of people, you know what it did do? It actually made people realize that there's the original Lilo and Stitch movie, and it made people realize about the Lilo and Stitch TV show, and watched all those movies and the sequel. So despite the live-action remake being bad, or not that good, it did make more people appreciate the original movie, and even the original sequel's better. Which, honestly, that might actually be Disney's strategy. It might be the reason why they're pumping out so many live-action remakes. Not just because they know the live-action remakes could make money, but it'll also make people go back and watch the original movies. That's probably a reason why they make so many live-action remakes. Not just because they make a lot of money, but it'll get people talking about the original movie more. Yeah, it's like a stain, but again, it doesn't really hurt. It doesn't kill the franchise for me. It doesn't kill the overall... It's a remake. If the remake isn't good, it's just a remake. It doesn't matter. It's a typical take of the original story. Like, it sucks. It's not something... But if you don't want to watch it, there's no reason to watch it. It's not something that kills me or anything. If a sequel had character assassination in it, that would bother me way more. Can I tell you a good movie Can I tell you a movie that would be really good for a remake? A lot of people might be shocked when I say this. Let's just say there's a certain Pixar movie that I think would benefit off a remake really well. Because it's a movie that has a lot of potential, but a couple of steps in the writing completely killed the movie. Can I tell you a movie that would work really well if it was remade? Incredibles 2. Think about it. The original Incredibles was an absolute classic. One of the best movies Pixar's ever made. And the second Incredibles was very disappointing compared to the first. Like, it was always going to be disappointing compared to the first, considering how good the first was. But they just did a couple things. If they just changed a couple things of the Incredibles 2, it could have at least been like an Inside Out 2 or It could have at least been like an Inside Out 2 kind of sequel. Instead, it just suffers from something called missed potential. The villain is the real... Really? The villain... The whole freaking twist villain concept. Like, the thing that sucks is I feel like the Screenslaver could have been an interesting concept for a villain if they actually stuck with him as the villain, as its own character, and not made the Screenslaver Evelyn as a twist. That could have actually worked. That could have actually worked as an intimidating villain. Instead, they have to do that stupid twist villain stuff, and it just killed the overall aspect of the movie. It sucks because the humor was good, the action was good, Elastigirl was badass like always, the original starting scene with the Underminer was good. If they actually had a tolerable and memorable villain, it would have been actually a good sequel, and people wouldn't argue about it. Yes, it wouldn't be as good as the first Incredibles, but it would have been at least a good sequel, which people can compare, watch back, and be like, oh, that's a nice extension to the original movie. Instead, now... people look at it as a very disappointing remake just because the villain is bad. And it makes sense. If you are an Incredibles movie, you need to have an interesting and entertaining villain. Has there ever been a movie we wanted to get up and leave? The thing is, I only go to the movie theaters to watch movies that I know that I'll at least enjoy. I never went to the movie theater and got up and left. Per se, because the thing is, if I watch something bad, I just stop watching it and I don't watch it anymore. I don't watch bad movies at the movie theater. Like, the thing is, you don't have to make the villain win for an Incredibles 2 to work. You could have made something like, you could have made the Screenslaver the actual main, or made the Underminer the villain. That could have worked too. Like, there's other stuff they could have done. If they didn't do that stupid Evelyn twist villain stuff, it would have been bad. Like, you know what would have been cool? They could have still had the Screenslaver capture Elastigirl and had her controlled by the Screenslaver. They could have had this cool little fight, and then they could have had Bob Parr save... They could have had Bob Parr save his wife. They could have had an epic battle between the two. They had it a little bit, but it was too short. Like, they had it a little bit, but it was too short. Even if they made a convenient plot twist for the Screenslaver to lose, if they didn't make that stupid twist concept for Evelyn, it could have worked. It could have worked. Even if the heroes won, it could have worked. Yes, they could have done that. And it could also tie in with the side. And it could also tie it in with the Jack side plot too. Like that's you could work something. Can you see why that I feel like a remake to Incredibles 2 could work? A lot of the humor in the movie works. The action works. It's a more action-filled movie than the first. You could really tie into the action part. There's been some movies where the villain wins. None of them come at the top of my head, though. There's none of them that really come at the top of my head, though. But there are movies where the villain wins. I know they exist. Alright, let's do this. Boost token being used. 15 minutes. These are going to be the final Terran Essences I'm going to use. Then I'm going to use the final 10 minutes and hunt for a robust Ice Eagle for 10 minutes, I guess. I mean, I could just go back in the wild afterwards. You know what? I could just do that. Yeah, I could do that. Get my pity back down. Alright. Yeah, Megamind won, but Megamind was kind of the protagonist. Even though he was a villain, he was the protagonist, so yeah. But yeah, he did technically win. Alright. Alright. The final Terran Essences I'm going to use. I got my boost token already available. Yep, already available. Alright. By the way, we're 2 hours and 33 minutes into the stream. Wow, that's a long stream. Okay. It's a Smiling Totem. Very clumsy. Brawny. Nimble. Brawny, nimble, minus range attack. Yep. 30 of these. There were a lot of good movies that came out last year, actually, Corey. There were a lot of good animated movies that came out. But I just haven't watched them. I haven't had enough time to watch them. I had a lot going on. But I do want to catch up. ...2024 had Inside Out 2 and Wild Robot. And I think it had Minecraft movie too. Yeah, Minecraft movie is kind of a guilty pleasure, but still. It was a High Point movie at least. Oh, I got nothing. Nothing. Did I really get... Oh no, I got an alpha. Okay, no, I did get an alpha. It's another alpha. Jeez, I got so many alphas. How many alphas of these do I have again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 alpha Terran Essence. I could give a lot of these away. I think that's it. Let me just see. I think it's just one alpha though. Let's see. Yeah, it's just one alpha. Now, is there a SA in the mix? Is there an SA in the mix? Probably not, but you never know. Nope, no SAs. Okay, so we got one more alpha. So that wasn't completely bad. Yeah, I did already get the Gamma. I got that one a long time ago. Yep, here's the Gamma. And it's the one I want too, so it's no big deal. I got Eliminate on it. So these are all the alpha Terran Essence I have. I have 6 of them. And then those are all the SAs. Alright. I think that'll be it for the event. I'll try to get... I'm going to hunt one more time. And just get this... I'm going to use this boost token and then I'm going to call it a stream. I'm going to relax a little bit. I'm going to eat some lunch in a bit. So yeah. I could probably give away a couple of those Alpha Terran Essence. I could probably give a couple of those away. W pull for real, Josh? I don't know. I don't see stuff right away. Josh, what is the one movie you have watched that was so good to the point where if everyone turned on it, you would stay and defend it no matter what? It's the Inside Out movies. No ands, ifs, or buts about that. Like, the thing is, nobody consider those movies bad. They always consider the Inside Out movies good, but never anyone's favorite movies. Both Inside Outs are my favorite movies. For different reasons, funnily enough. I'll probably make my own video on why I like that franchise so much, but yeah. The Inside Out movies I'm going to defend all day, all out. No ands, ifs, or buts about that. Ouch, you kind of hate Inside Out? Ouch. Another movie that made me die was the Dragon Ball movie. Bro, I've been collecting the saddles and I can't find a My Mask. Ouch, that's unfortunate. What's your favorite film? Like, okay, the Inside Out movies might be my favorite film, but it's not objectively the best movie. Like, there are flaws with both of those movies that I could say. Like, objectively, the best movies I've ever watched are probably Incredibles, WALL-E, Wild Robot, and Puss in Boots 2: The Last Wish might be one of my favorite ones. Have you ever cried watching one? Do you mean watching a movie or watching the Inside Out ones? Because the second Inside Out movie made me cry. The anxiety attack scene just hit so hard for me. Last Wish might be one of my favorite, best movies. Like, it might be, honestly, as good as Wild Robot was and how emotional it was, I just don't think anything beats Last Wish for me. Just the movie in general? Yeah, probably Last Wish. Last Wish was so good. There's a silent voice. Ouch. Treasure Planet? I don't think I've watched Treasure Planet. Just got the maze clear in 30 seconds? Wow, nice! But yeah, my favorite movies, I would have to say, are either Incredibles, Inside Out 1 and 2. Maybe Toy Story 3 is up there too. Toy Story 3 is kind of emotional. I like that kind of stuff. Last Wish. Wild Robot. And that's kind of it. Those would be the movies that I would... Those would be the movies I would probably always like and I would watch over and over and over again. I could watch those movies over and over and over and over and over again, and I would still enjoy them for what they are. I would never hate those movies. Oh yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah, How to Train... No! Oh yeah, Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda. The first 3 Kung Fu Panda movies. Yep, I could watch those movies over and over and over and over again. The Kung Fu Panda movies. All the way. How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2. I still haven't watched the 3rd. I watched the first 2. They're really good. But, oh my god, the Kung Fu Panda movies. The Kung Fu Panda movies. I could watch those movies over and over and over again. I'll always enjoy them. 1, 2, and 3. All 3 of them. 4th one, There's stuff I like about the 4th, but there's stuff I hate about it too. There's stuff I hate about the 4th, but there's also stuff I like about the 4th. I wish there was an LL Lumion Legacy-like game, but with How to Train Your Dragons. I know, the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy was peak. Especially the first 2. I've seen clips of the 3rd one, and the 3rd one looks very intense. But I haven't watched the full 3rd one yet. But, yeah. To this day, I still don't know how they fumbled with Kung Fu Panda 4. I have no idea how they fumbled it that badly, too. Like, the thing is... I think Kung Fu Pandas 4 is another example, is that if they remade the movie and they made a couple better writing decisions, I feel like it could have actually been a good movie if they just made a couple different decisions in the writing. Kind of like how I felt with Incredibles 2, but at least with Incredibles 2, it was at least still good, when Kung Fu Panda 4 was just kind of mediocre. Know what I mean? But it's another one of those movies where I feel like if it was rewritten... I feel like it could have been a lot better if it was rewritten and remade. Yeah, technically all Lumions are free, it's just, you gotta get them. It's a pain in the butt to get. Especially a lot of the event Lumions, you can't always get them. That was the one where they didn't have the Furious 5 in it. They had the Chameleon villain, it was a villain because she was small! Not to mention that stupid Fox character, I forgot her name. That stupid criminal Fox character, which I did not get invested with whatsoever. Yeah. Oh my god. Someone talked about how Kung Fu Panda 4 was a commentary on AI art? I mean, I could see that with the chameleon. That is fair, I get that, but I don't see it as that much. I honestly don't see it as that much. If there is a movie that does a lot better with that, it's the recent Wallace and Gromit movie. But that one's more of like technology, not necessarily AI, but more technology taking over human labor. Not necessarily AI, but I feel like the recent Wallace and Gromit movie does better at that than Kung Fu Panda 4. Yeah, Mantis is right there. Yeah, Mantis... It's not like Mantis exists or anything. He's literally carrying a freaking bridge in the first movie. He's carrying a freaking bridge in the first movie. Oh, Arx is live? Nice. I am going to be ending stream soon. I will be ending in 3 minutes, so y'all can hop on Arx stream. Yeah, event ends today, unfortunately. Kung Fu Panda was meant... Are you talking like the original Kung Fu Panda, or are you talking about Kung Fu Panda 4? Because yeah, Kung Fu Panda 4 is mid. The first 3, in my opinion, were goated. Those are another 3 movies where I could defend no in and no out. I can go all in, watch them over and over again, and will constantly defend them no matter what happens with the movies. Got 0 fines. Oh, that sucks, Joshua. That's unfortunate. Joshua, can you look back at any opposed fights in Kung Fu Panda and say with confidence that he should have lost? I can't. Okay. Just because I like the original Kung Fu Panda in the other movies in the series, that doesn't mean that there's movies without their faults. I agree. In the original Kung Fu Panda, Po probably should not have won that fight versus Tai Lung. He shouldn't. I get that. But does that kill the movie for me? No. It does not kill the movie. Everything else about the movie. And the one thing I will say, the thing that saves the movie is I do like how Po had a unique fighting style that tailored to his strengths. Yes, should he have beaten Tai Lung? No. But it doesn't kill the movie for me. And the way he does, and you could make thematical sense that, you know, Tai Lung was not good in the head at the moment, and that Po's fat was used to deflect some of the electric nerve attacks. So there's at least that. Yeah, the movie was still fire. Like, I'm not saying that Kung Fu Panda was perfect. Like, if it made sense, Tai Lung should have beat Po. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about that. But that doesn't mean that just because Po won, it doesn't kill the whole movie for me. And the thing I like is how they built on from the first movie. They built on from his character strengths. The reason why I like the second movie more than the first is because it felt like Po earned that fight versus Lord Shen. He earned that win. He battled through his adversity, and he won with him. People got mad that the original villains just forgiven Po in the 4 movies ending. Yeah, it's another reason. Okay, I can understand if Tai Lung forgave him. That one I'm a little bit more with. But Lord Shen and Kai, I would not agree with at all. Lord Shen literally genocided all the pandas. Why would he forgive Po? And also, why is Kai there? Kai literally died in the spirit realm. Kai should not exist. Kai died in the spirit world. He should not be alive. So, yeah. Have you ever played any Dark Souls game? No, I had never played a Dark Souls game, unfortunately. Yeah, he won in that second fight because he went through the adversity. He went through all of the trauma of his past. He literally got hit by a freaking cannonball and literally almost died. Came all the way back and saved the Furious Five from being chained up. And then he freaking skadooshed the freaking cannonball back at Lord Shen. and destroyed all his ships. So yeah. Josh knows way too much about kids' films. Oh, they're not just kids' movies. They're movies that everyone can enjoy. Animated movies are not just kids' movies. They're movies that anyone can enjoy and watch. Kai just has that plot armor? Apparently, yep. Yeah, Lord Shen got squashed by the falling ship at the end. Yeah, but at least with that death, it would make... If dying in the real world sends you to the spirit realm, it at least would kind of make sense that you could appear in the spirit realm, especially if you're a powerful warrior like Shen. But Kai died in the spirit world. It makes no sense for Kai to be there. Yeah, he doesn't even try to... Yeah, that is fair. That is a nice detail. Yeah, the thing is, in the third movie, like, the thing is the reason why I like the final battle of the third movie of Po in the spirit world is because even though Po was getting ragdolled by Kai, I did like the message the third movie had. And I really like how it really went into his role as a teacher, of being the Kung Fu. And it really just completed his role on why he was chosen as the Dragon Warrior. So yeah, even though he was getting ragdolled by Kai, at least I really did like what they did with the ending of the spirit world and the fight. And I liked how, with the support of others, that kept Po alive. I like that concept of the movie. Yeah, like, how was Kai in 4? How was Kai in Kung Fu Panda 4? It makes no sense. Kung Fu Tatab. Everybody is Kung Fu fighting! I could just imagine just a picture of Tatab showing up. Everybody is Kung Fu fighting! Oh my goodness, this was entertaining. 2 hours and 50 minutes stream. Boy, we cooked in this one. For being the last Jolly Village stream on the Joshua Star 77 channel. Well, at least until next year. We absolutely cooked. We cooked today. But yeah, I'm going to be ending the stream here. We had my friend sang that for the talent show. Oh, that's cool. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'll make sure I have an upload tomorrow. Don't worry. I will finally upload a Lumion Legacy upload. I'm not sure what it will be. Probably be a showcase. I'm not sure what kind of showcase it would be. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. It's funny to me how the movies gassed up the Furious 5 so much, yet they had 0% win rate. Yeah, they did. Yeah, the Furious 5 got cooked. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. And I will see y'all all later. Bye-bye!